Greetings and welcome to another episode of Star Wars, the Action Toon Brothers Special, Part 2.
Hell yeah.
I am your host, Emperor Ben Patine the 13th and a half. I'm Ben Sturgeon. With me I have, this time the co-host, but creator, Matthew Lewis.
Hello there. I'm here for Star Wars.
Yep, we're gonna be wrapping this one up.
Yeah.
I am so sorry to our viewers who decided to watch this special as their first special. I promised you Star Wars Visions is great. Unfortunately, if you watch the first part of this, you know how we feel about those first 5 episodes of this current season.
Yeah, retrospective. I
guess,
should put a thing in the beginning saying like, now listen, if you listen to this, please wait till the second half. There's a couple good ones there.
Yeah, right. Just wow. I will say though, Matt.
Yeah.
We got some good episodes this time around.
Yeah. I will say there was at least a hit rate as opposed to the first half. Actually, I won't say everything was bad in the first half. There was some good stuff, but we'll talk about that at the end when we actually rank all the stuff. But
of course.
But yeah, this batch is definitely
of course.
An improvement, which I wish they would have spaced these out differently. But I guess we'll get more into that at the actual end of the episode.
Right. Yeah. We'll get back into it. So yeah, man. Just I said it in the first episode, I'll say it again, but this certainly felt like a season 3 for sure.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it feels like a Star Wars Part 3, I suppose, because the original Return of the Jedi and people's opinions on Revenge of the Sith, and of course Rise of Skywalker.
Whoa, I was just talking about like TV series, like
I know, yeah.
3.
Well, I mean, that's
not like the third part.
There's some good season 3s, but there's certainly one of them. A season 3 at least.
Oh my god, it certainly was. So Matt.
Yeah.
Before the recording, you literally forced me. You forced me to watch 3 different trailers, 2 for the same show, 1 for a different
Not a show,
right?
It's a movie.
Which one's the movie?
Mandalorian and Grogu's going to be in theaters, a movie.
Wait, that's actually going to be a movie?
Yeah, movie in theaters.
Huh. I misread. I guess it did say it was going to be for IMAX.
Yeah, so. in a couple months.
Okay, no, that's fair. Okay, that's fair. But either way, 2 for the same movie and 1 for an actual show on Disney Plus. So, alright, which one do you want to start with?
I mean, The Mandalorian and Grogu is probably going to be the biggest project, so might as well start with Darth Maul Shadow Lords.
So, you mentioned something in episode 1 of this special, right? You mentioned the whole thing with, what is her name?
Darth Talon.
Thank you, Talon. I don't think that's gonna be her.
I mean, maybe not, but that's like I said. It was just like a theory that this young Padawan who escaped is going to become Maul's apprentice, and that's how she'll become Darth Talon. Which, hey man, that'd be fucking cool. I think if it does happen, that'd be cool as hell.
Okay, Mr. Lucas and they're friends now.
Yeah, they're friends.
They're literally years apart. They're friends.
They're like 100 years apart, Luke. George, that doesn't make any sense. No, they're friends. Yeah.
Yeah, but either way, I will say, I'm very glad that they got the same voice actor who's been playing Maul since the Clone Wars. I'm glad they got him back.
Sam Witwer,
because
he's been in AKA what's his name, Star Killer, and 1,000 other characters in Star Wars. He's great.
Yeah, but he did a good job as Maul, and I'm glad they brought him back. The story seems very interesting. I mean, we're gonna get this random Twi'lek child who is on the run, former Padawan, but, during the Purge kind of thing going on. Or, well, it's Empire has already been situated and they're still purging Jedi. There's a random Inquisitor who's yet to be named.
Oh, no, geez. Ben, I don't want to spoil anything, but the 2 Inquisitors we see in that, spoilers, but they have both appeared in canon before, and extra spoilers, the one that looks like Reaper from Overwatch and the other one are both killed by Ahsoka in the Ahsoka show and the Tales of the Jedi.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so they're both dead. They're both going to get killed by Ahsoka.
Before.
Yeah, they're both going to get killed by Ahsoka in 2 different series.
Gotcha. Well, either way. Oh no, spoilers.
Well, I mean, literally, yeah. It's not that much of it because they get killed very early on.
Well, but either way. And apparently, those ones are gonna have an integral part in all this.
Mm-hmm.
And Maul gets to look like a badass again because why not? Because why not? But I mean, all in all, it seems like it's gonna be all right.
Yeah, you still have.
Seems decent.
Have you not seen Solo yet?
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is kind of leading into the plot of Solo. So
this is going to be like a precursor to Solo.
Yeah, it's precursor to like an ending shock surprise in Solo. Yeah.
Oh, you mean the one where Maul was revealed?
Yeah. Yeah, that one.
Oh no, sorry. Spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen Solo, which it's been like 5, 6, 7 years now.
I mean, probably almost, I don't even know, a surprisingly long time, I am sure. Because Solo was a while ago. Yeah. It was the last movie they released, honestly.
It was a long time ago, yeah. But
it would be 8 years ago now.
8 years ago, okay, yeah. So, oh no, spoilers for an 8-year-old movie. That I haven't seen, that I already knew that big old reveal.
Yeah.
But now, The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Hell yeah.
The Mandalorian and Grogu. Wow.
Did you finish the Mandalorian show?
I need to watch season whatever the newest season is. I think it's 3?
Yeah, 3 was the last one.
Yeah, I need to watch 3 because I know I've watched seasons 1 and 2, and then I need to watch season 3 of that. You know, the one with Jack Black in it, apparently.
Yeah. Hey, no spoilers, but the episode with Jack Black and Lizzo got a lot of hate because of how goofy they are, but legit, the actual story in that episode is pretty incredible. It's about this planet that's repurposed battle droids after the war, but suddenly a lot of the droids are like being reprogrammed to attack people again. It's really, really fucking good.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I will say, you know this name. I forget what race they are, but the Babu Freak race.
Yeah.
The little really, I forget what that is, but there's a bunch of them in it. I swear. Okay. Matt. By the way, if you haven't seen the trailer, pause this thing and go watch both of the trailers, or who knows, there might be 3 or 4, or maybe the movie's out. I don't know. Go watch the movie or something. But I'm gonna ask a question about something that's in one of the trailers. So, hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Are they trying to tell us that Cad Bane's still alive?
I don't know about Cad Bane. Yeah, what? Yeah.
Well, because that one, like the scene with like the storm in it.
Yeah.
That absolutely looked like his hat.
No, that was freaking Embo, the mushroom dude.
Wait, that was Embo?
Yeah, the mushroom dude who when Obi-Wan was pretending to be a bounty hunter with Cad Bane, Embo his dog. Embo's the one who has like the little dog monster with him. But yeah, Embo's the mushroom guy who's always like floating around, being all cool.
I'll have to rewatch it.
Yeah, he's one of Cad Bane's boys. Like him, Cad Bane, and little baby not Babu Freak, little baby Boba Fett were like they were the hunters in like a bunch of Clone Wars episodes. But yeah, that's the dude with the hat is Embo.
Okay, so obviously there's going to be a lot of dirt on that, but
oh yeah.
But
yeah.
The most important thing, especially in the newer trailer. My fucking boy Zeb is back.
Hell yeah.
My fucking boy. He's back.
Hell yeah.
The moment I saw him flash his fucking little face and he actually like said something, I'm like, oh my god. It's Zeb, my boy. He came back from the war.
Hell yeah, he survived. And he doesn't even know, I didn't know what happened to Ahsoka with the old team. The whole Rebels team is important. It's fucking great.
Yeah, that's right, because it's like Ahsoka's like a follow-up to Rebels. Because apparently, like a lot of Ahsoka is supposed to be like very tied in with Rebels. Like you have the entire like main Rebels crew. If I remember correctly, Thrawn is still in.
Oh
One
yeah,
is one, if not the big guy. Which again, very interesting villain. I have to say, I really did like his intimidating aura.
Yeah.
But yeah,
fucking
just
fantastic. Other little thing. Did you ever watch that really shitty Clone Wars animated movie, the one in theaters forever ago, when it introduced Ahsoka?
You mean the one that Gendy Tartakovsky
No,
did?
not the 2D animated one, the 3D one that like introduced the show and introduced Ahsoka.
Like the actual like 3D like the people who did the Clone Wars from then on. They that's right. They did a movie, didn't they?
Yeah.
No, I actually have not watched it because I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know if you caught on to the way I was talking. I forgot it existed.
Well, no spoil. I would say if you want, you can watch it because the plot is basically Ahsoka being introduced as a character, taking care of this like basically Jabba the Hutt's son, this little tiny fat little ball of a Hutt named Rhoda, who she calls Stinky the whole movie. Very, very stupid. And honestly, I'll defend. I like the 3D Clone Wars, but that movie is terrible. That big muscle fucking dude you saw in the trailer, the big muscle Hutt is Stinky. Yeah, that's Stinky the AKA
Wait.
Yeah.
That buff Hutt, which by the way, for those of you who know Star Wars, that's a contradiction in terms. That buff Hutt, that was a character from a shitty Clone Wars movie that started and sparked the entirety of the actual Clone Wars.
Yeah, and Ahsoka called him Stinky. That's how dumb and immature that movie was. His real name is Rhoda, but yeah, that's him.
Wow.
What a glow up.
The fact, he's doing good for himself.
Yeah, good for him.
He's doing good for himself.
He's literally like a tiny little like ball who like just like giggled and was like a little baby in the movie. But yeah, that movie is fucking garbage. And now that character looks awesome and he's going to be in a good movie, so that's funny.
Just damn, dude. They're really pulling out all the stops. Like, hey, have you watched this thing?
I love it. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I fucking love it.
No. Oh, no. I'm not saying anything bad about it. That's unfortunately, there's only one thing I don't like about it, and that means I have a few things to catch up on in order to understand everything. But like, just wow, dude. So much going on with that, and it actually doesn't look too bad. Like, this would be like the first movie I actually go out in theaters and watch again.
Hell yeah.
In such a long time. Because, unfortunately, the last movie I saw in theaters was the first FNAF movie.
Have you seen the second one yet?
And unfortunately, no, but I need to I need to get my roommates together and actually, like, probably watch it because, you know, we've got ways of watching it kind of thing, but we do actually want to see what it's like. I heard mixed things about it.
I enjoyed it. I heard, like, exclusively bad things. I went in with, like, you know, thinking it was going to be terrible with low expectations, and I legit enjoyed it.
Okay. I mean, the time I told you about when I went to see the first FNAF movie, unfortunately, it was like a week after opening, so many people were still there. And, oh my god, so many fucking memes as the movie was going on. Just wow. It was an experience and a half.
Yeah, very, very fun. But now, speaking of fun, we do have to...
Yes, we did gush a little bit.
Yeah, well, hey, Star Wars is fun. Hey,
like I said,
Star Wars is fun, everybody. It's a controversial opinion, but I think Star Wars is pretty fun. There's a lot of fun, cool shit in it.
Well, I will say, it can be fun. It can be fun. Just the first 5 episodes of this, except for the very first episode. Except for the very first episode of Season 3. The first 5 episodes could be sure. But anyway, yeah, so we're actually gonna start off, because in the first episode, I said that there were 3 episodes that were continuations of episodes from Season 1. And we had the duel, like the Ronin returned. We had the Ninth Jedi, which was a cute story, but again, just girl and her robot.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just gonna start off with the third one. Actually, the third episode that we talked about. Um, in Vision season 3, episode 6,
The
The
Lost,
Lost
Ones.
Ones. This is a continuation of if you've watched the first our first season review, this is a continuation of my favorite season 1 episode,
Yeah.
which was titled The Village Bride.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually start off on a planet.
Kinema Citrus.
Oh, yes. Kinema Citrus. Yep. The same ones who did, well, the previous final episode, Yuko's Treasure.
Mm-hmm.
We start off in a world, like just a planet, where we see this guy, some people in like yellow hazmat suits, and they start extracting, this yellow liquid.
From like a purple rock.
Yeah, from like a purple rock. And, as all of that, all of this is going on,
We see
and
F.
we see someone.
Yeah, we see F specifically
see F.
spying on these people in the town, walking around in hazmat suits, some of them outside of hazmat suits. A number of people are kind of like going around talking about the extraction. And then one woman in that group is looking for somebody named Theo.
Yep. And as she's talking about, where Theo is, one of the guys, long orange-haired guy named Ron, is like, looking at this yellow substance, and he's like, "All right, cool. We can sell this to the we can sell this to the Empire. Have them hear us out, and maybe they'll pay attention to us." Someone else is like, "Dude, it's the Empire. They're not answering our calls. They don't care about us." And then the woman is still like, "Where's Theo?" And Ron's just like, "Okay, fine. I'll go look for him. He might have just gotten lost or something."
Yeah, they tell Lulu to get the ship ready. The pilot, apparently.
Lulu is a tiny blue droid.
We don't find that out for a bit, but yeah, they say, Lulu, get the ship ready. We'll be back in a sec. And they look over to the horizon, and they're wary of a storm.
Yep, a storm's brewing. Well, after some searching in the town, in a very desolate-looking town, we find, we just find the character Theo. He's just sitting in a room, right?
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'm not leaving. I'm gonna stay here with my family. And we see he's sitting in front of what looks like a statue of a woman and a child in this place. And Ron's
They're
like,
frozen in that purpley looking
dude.
stone. Yeah.
Yeah. Ron's just like, "Dude, you can't do this, man. We got to get out of here. The Empire's gonna help us out. We're gonna sell them this stuff." And just like the guy at the beginning, Theo's like, "Dude, they're not answering our calls. The Empire doesn't care about us. They've abandoned us like this entire planet's been abandoned." And of course, Ron is an optimist, and he's like, "Nah, dude, everything's gonna be fine." So as Ron and Theo are leaving the place,
An earthquake.
we get a giant earthquake hits, and they're caught in it, and the building that they're in is actually like breaking apart. Fortunately, from being saved from being crushed, we see someone using the Force, also known as F.
Yeah, it's F.
Yep, F is back, and she saves them, pulls them out of the rubble and everything, and they all board the starship, where we see the storm. Like, the storm hits as they're leaving, and it starts petrifying everything.
Yeah, it's like a purpley looking haze, like fog storm rolling into the town, and everything it passes turns into that same stone that the family was frozen in.
Yep. And while we're on the ship with everyone, Ron introduces himself, but F is like, "Hey, what's going on this planet?" We find out that this planet, known as Enoli, used to be a mining world for carbonite.
Gas.
And, for carbonite gas. And during the war, Enoli was abandoned, but as it was abandoned, the carbonite gas had started leaking from the mines and everything through the form of those quakes going on.
Mm-hmm.
And thus, every now and then, everything gets literally frozen into carbonite.
Yeah, and they are this group is researching a way to undo it, as well as hoping to sell, like they said multiple times, sell stuff to the Empire to try to like help get the planet refunded. This is when we finally meet Lulu the droid rolls out, and Ron asks like, "Hey, after you know Jonah," and she's like, "Oh, maybe I don't know." Yeah.
Yep.
And this is when they.
Well, yeah, she doesn't really answer the question, but
and
like,
they actually land on this big. I referred to it as a station, but I guess it's just a large like docking ship. That's like
it's like a big like freighter starship kind of thing.
Yeah. A bunch of kids,
yeah.
like, as soon as they land and they get off the ship, a bunch of kids start asking F a bunch of questions because she's a foreigner, she's not from here. They ask her about her history and where she's from. And, like, she, like, escaped the Empire. Or, like, basically, they're, like, questioning who she is, and then they, like, offhandedly mention that they, like, blame the Jedi for the war that's happening. And they're saying, ask if she knows any of them. F tells them, like, hey, just keep your eyes open, learn as much as you can, because that's the way you fight back. Just keep, and keep your minds open. And then we see one of the little kids named Leon kind of like, flees from the others. It's a whole like a bunch of stuff. Like, the little girl asks F about her scar, which we never really got the answer for in the first part, I don't think. F says that she just is out to heal herself, and that's why she's here. She's just traveling. Don't ask her any questions, but she appreciates the company of the children. And then we see Jonah, who's like been like watching over this group as they've been talking to her and stuff. She's a basilisk, like Dexter Jetster and like Pong Krell. She's a basilisk.
And as Juna is working on the cybernetic prosthetic leg that F has.
Did we know that in the first part that she has a prosthetic leg? I don't think we did, right?
We honestly, so the first part, the Village Bride, it really never went into detail who F was. F was just traveling with some other like Jedi-y kind of guy, and it was really vague as to who she was. The only thing we got was that she was a Jedi at the very end of it all.
Mm-hmm.
So to this like episode, The Lost Ones, we actually kind of get like a whole bunch of information dumped on us about F and her past.
Yeah, but as Juna's working on her leg, she kind of asks what she's doing, and then we get a flashback of her training with her master. And then she kind of just like goes to sleep that night in the big station. At night, she tells Juna that she is. Visit her home. She's going to like visit her home someday, just to like return to where she came from. Or no, Jonah asks her to visit the basilisk home, I guess. And just as they're talking, a bunch of Star Destroyers pop up. Yep.
Well, right, and it's important to note that before the flashback of F training with her master, Juna actually was like, "Hey, you're doing a good job, befriending all this children and stuff. Which is, maybe you should be a teacher.
Oh yeah,
unlike your former master, and that's what triggered the memory.
Yeah, you're right.
So apparently, even Juna knows a little bit of F's past.
Yeah. The Star Destroyers appear in immediate fire, and one of them announces itself as the Oppressor, and says that they are here for the Jedi.
Yep, and as all this is happening, F just silently starts to leave, and Ron's like, "Hey, what are you doing? So you are a Jedi after all?" And F's like, "Look, I'm gonna surrender myself because I didn't want to cause any trouble here. I'm gonna surrender myself. That way, a lot of people can be safe." And Ron's like, against this. He's just like, "Dude, no, that's like surrender. That's like giving up, And as they're talking, we see Juna talk with some captain who's a Mon Calamari, and it's like, okay, so what are we gonna do here, kind of thing. And as all that's happening, F prepares to depart when Ron's like, with Lulu, and Ron's like, "Okay, look, I can't let you do this alone. I'm gonna turn you in for my reward," kind of thing. And so they fly over, and some other Imperial officers just like, "And who are you?" And Ron's like, "I'm the guy who's turning in this Jedi. Worth a pretty penny, right? So I'm here for my reward," kind of thing. So he gets taken with a few stormtroopers, where two other ones like bind F, and the Imperial officer's like, take her to Zero's chambers,
Yeah. Uh,
and then of course they start like pushing her in, and what was it? What were you gonna say?
When I was going to say, like, as she enters the chamber, we get this big, gigantic field of, like, grass and flowers inside, which is apparently Zero's headquarters. And we see, as he stands up and turns around, that it is her master, Shad Ra, who I wrote looks like Griffith. He has, like, long blonde hair and, like, purple eyes.
Yeah, yeah, he's got like the white hair, the all white going on, and he's got like red, except for instead of blue eyes, he's got red eyes. Yeah, okay, good. I'm not the only one who thought he looked like Golden Age Griffith.
Yeah, and he says, "I have died." Like, oh, like you're not my master. You're like, yeah, your master has died, and I returned. And now, of course, as always, they say, "You can join me. We can, rule the galaxy together." And she's just like, doesn't say anything.
And well, yeah, because you can definitely see she's like very conflicted because again, last time she saw this guy, he died.
Yeah,
and he's like standing here in front of her, very not dead.
Yep.
But meanwhile, Ron is hiding behind three crates, and like a bunch of stormtroopers are like, "Hey, the informant, he got away. Look for him." And Ron's just like, "Hey, Lulu, I need you to get me to the control room and let me not get caught." And Lulu gets out of the starship, just starts moving around and starts doing R2D2 stuff, only closing doors, opening doors so that Ron can go through and like run around and everything like that.
Yeah, and then we get a line from Zero
Yep.
that says, he says, the Jedi are responsible for this war. And he sees that she lost her Padawan braid, which I guess happened in the Village Bride. He says, and now you are a full Jedi as well. This is when he offers her a lightsaber and says that she, he ran from being a Jedi, now you can join me. Just continuing to try to seduce her to the dark side. But as this, we keep seeing Ron sneaking around the deck, avoiding stormtrooper patrols, and like with Lulu just running cover for him. Back in the actual base, we see that F does grab the lightsaber, but she begins to duel Zero in a very fucking cool fight.
And with during the first part of this, Zero mentions how he absolutely like hates everything. Like, he hates the Jedi Order for their misguided ways. He hates, like, the whole war that happens. And above all, he actually hates F because apparently F ran when he saved her, kind of thing. And so he's just like, spouting out about how he literally hates everything. And so, he and F continue their duel. And as that duel is happening, Ron decides to go. Like, he's in the control room, where he sets what looks like an explosive, but it's one of those vials of the yellow liquid that he got from the planet.
The carbonite gas, yeah.
And the carbonite gas. And all of a sudden, the stormtroopers find him, pursuing him, and he's doing the whole like A New Hope thing where he's like on the comm being like, Lulu, you gotta help me. You gotta help me out here. And then we get a bit more of a fight. And as this fight's happening, he's just like, all right. So Zero's like, why are you helping these weaklings? They're the ones who turned you in.
Mm-hmm.
Why should you help them? And F is like, okay, listen. My master taught me that, there's a whole balance to everything. You have to help people out so that, you have to help people out so that, they can live on. There's, she actually, like, stands her ground a little bit with Zero. And as all this is happening, we get more of Ron, like, trying to escape, like, on the ship and everything. As he also sets off the charges, and the entire Star Destroyer is getting covered in carbonite gas.
Yeah. As the duel continues, as you mentioned, F says that she's going to honor her master who died, and they clash, but of course, unfortunately, she loses her legs and an arm, which I guess were all prosthetic before. I'm not sure.
Well,
The
we
legs
we don't know.
everywhere.
The only thing we see is the one leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see one of her legs being. But yeah, apparently, yeah. So she literally loses both legs and one arm. But before she gets slashed like that, she kind of like jumps over Zero and like places her hand on him,
Yep.
and then gets slashed. And of course, Zero's like, your swordsmanship, your lightsaber craft is very bad. And F is like, yeah, but that doesn't mean I can't beat you. And you see, injected into Zero is the other vial of carbonite gas.
Yeah, crazy. As the as the oppressor ship continues to, be destroyed by all the carbonite gas, Ron tells the people on the station to jump into hyperspace. He says, "Don't worry, I'll join you guys." As he talks to the Mon Cala and Juna, and so they launch out. And he says, "I'll be right there."
Yep, they launch it.
He goes back into the ship field to save F. As she like stares at the sky, ready to die, limbless, just like, or I guess the sky in this weird chamber in the ship that looks outside.
It's a hollow chamber. Let's be honest. It's just a hollow chamber.
It's the holodeck from Star Trek.
But yeah, yep. But then as she's like sitting there ready to just accept her fate, Ron actually makes it last minute. Is like, hey,
she has
I was
a
gonna leave
vision
you?
of her
No.
master back when they were together, and him specifically giving her a Melu rune for all my what's it called heads, rebels heads out there.
Yeah, Mailerud.
Yep. She's beginning to cry and she's ready to die, and that's when Ron comes in and saves her. Yeah.
Yep. And then we go to the shuttle, and where she's wrapped up in a blanket, literally with only one arm, and she's like, she thanks him like sincerely, like actually thanks him for rescuing her. And Ron's just like, hey, I got you in this mess, but either way, let's join the others, shall we? And then they jump into hyperspace, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, they launch off, and that's the end. Wow, a nice, refreshing quality thing. A girl without a droid, just with a guy who has a droid helping her. But very fun episode.
And I gotta say, this episode I really liked. This was
very creative.
Honestly, yeah, a very creative one. We got a continuation. There's only one small thing that I mean, and this is a nitpick. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is more of a nitpick for me. They kind of info dumped a lot.
Yeah, the first one is kind of mysterious what the hell her origins were and how this state of the war is or whatever. But yeah, this one has a lot of information.
And then this one is like, they dump a lot on you about F's past. But I will say, at first, I didn't think the pacing was good, but on a rewatch, I'm like, okay, maybe the pacing is not that bad. It's still an info dump kind of thing.
But
the pacing wasn't terrible.
Yeah, I will say, how did you feel about this compared to your favorite episode of the last arc, The Village Bride?
Honestly, it was a good continuation. Again, my tiny nitpick being the whole info dump thing. But, like, the first one was great. Like, I thought the cinematography, the story, it was a simple story, but the story behind it, and yes, even the character F herself it was all executed fantastically kind of thing. This one right here, it kind of has the same, like, kind of the same soul as the first one. It's just, it's more narrative driven. There's a lot of information. We're learning more about F herself. And just, there's a lot going on with her apparently. And we get to learn more about her. We actually get, she doesn't get much lines. She doesn't get a lot. She, like, we see her being a Jedi and teaching, like,
I'm pretty sure she only had like one or two lines in The Village Bride too.
True. Very true. She didn't have a lot either. But honestly, in the scenes that she was in, it was either, nice, kind of soft, refreshing, or they were actually very well done. Like, that duel with her former master. I could go on about this episode, but honestly, I like this one. This was with the other ones. Again, the duel being the exception, but with the other like 5 beforehand, this was very like a very nice breath of fresh air.
Oh yeah, yeah, and of course you got to shout out the voice actors, Karen Fukuhara, who we on this podcast are huge fans of, Glimmer from She-Ra, and the Kimiko from The Boys. Fun actress, great voice actress. She does a very good job as F, a complete opposite character from fucking Glimmer.
Yeah, right. Like, you get Glimmer, you know, bright and chipper, and then you get F, who is, like, a little bit cold, but, like, very soft-spoken, doesn't really say a lot, doesn't really have a whole lot of emotion, like, doesn't portray it as often, but, yeah, like, it just goes to show you that voice acting can be really good. Like, if you're good, you can play any character you want, kind of thing.
And the Master was voiced by Mark Strong, who is a British actor who's been in a billion things, from Kingsman to Shazam to like a bunch of shit. He's a huge actor and voice actor. He's wonderful. He's great in the Kingsman
Wait. You talking about Zero?
Yeah.
Wait, so what has this voice actor been?
He's not a voice actor. He's like he's an actor.
Well, I know. Well, in this case, for me, the context of he's a voice actor Shazam? In this show. Yeah, you and I both watched it together.
Yeah,
remember?
He was playing Dr. Savannah. He's like a tall.
Oh, he's
bald,
the main villain.
Yeah, he's like a tall, bald British actor who you've seen in 1,000. He plays a billion villains. He was Sinestro in the bad Green Lantern movie, but he was also the mentor in Kingsman. He's in a bunch of stuff. He's a huge actor.
Okay, so
great
wow.
voice.
So he was the main villain in. I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
Before I knew who the voice actor was, I'm not gonna lie. Please tell me I'm not the only one, Matt. I was getting Xemnas vibes from his deep, hollow voice.
Yeah, but Xemnas isn't British.
No, you're right. He's not. But what I could hear with Zero was it was a deep, hollow voice. So I'm like,
yes, he has a very distinct voice.
He's
like, very good.
Is Xemnas? Is Xemnas? But no, it wasn't. It was wow. But yeah, they did a very good job voice casting, and honestly, I kind of liked some of the minor characters that were a little bit major.
Yeah, some interesting bits. I have no interest in seeing them ever again because they're pretty, one note. But they were interesting enough. Actually, well, I always love a Basilisk. As controversial, I'm a huge Pong Krell defender. I think that character was really, really cool. So a Basilisk.
Which one?
Pong Krell was in Clone Wars. He was the Basilisk who betrayed the clones and tried to kill them. Was he
the four-armed guy?
Yeah,
who was like really, really hard on the clones.
Yeah, and it turns out he was just trying to join Darth Tyrannus. Yeah, he was a bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a ton of
Okay. I know who you're talking about.
He's another Basilisk. I love that race because I think they look cool, and so Junai just on that.
Right.
And Dexter Jetster in that weird diner he has. He's a fun one, too.
That's right. That's right. Obi-Wan talks to a Basilisk.
Yeah, Dexter Jetster.
Yeah. I remember that now. But yeah,
very,
either
very
way,
cool race. I want to see more of them in Star Wars.
Very good. Very good episode. Honestly, not gonna lie, kind of a very strong start to these 4 episodes.
Yeah. Also, what do you think the name of the meaning of the name was of the episode, The Lost Ones?
See, I'm gonna guess that it was not only the that one scene with the children, but I think it was also the kid, the guys at the beginning who were doing the carbonite gas mining. It might have been about them, or because honestly,
she referred to her master
kind of
as
vague.
dead as well. So yeah, that too.
Yeah, I mean, you could refer to her as one of the lost ones because during the entire fight with her master, you could actually tell that she was absolutely conflicted because every once in a while, she still called him master, but he turned to the dark side, so it wasn't actually her master. But at the same time, and okay, I have to point this out. because during the conversation with the children, she talked about how, getting older and growing up were two separate things,
Mm-hmm.
And after she had that conversation with the kids, for Zero's last words to her before he turns into Carbonite was, "My, how you've grown," and then he fucking dies.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Very cool.
ouch!
Yeah, very cool.
It hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, honestly, that's an excellent question. I guess that would be another negative against it, is what exactly the title has to do with the episode.
Weird one.
But again, that's a nitpick.
Yeah.
Because I like this episode. This was unlike unlike the other 5 where we had one that was obviously good and the other ones were like, this one was like, oh my god, we actually had a good one up here.
And it's always nice to see a nice Melu rune from Rebels.
Yeah. That little nod was really good too.
Very dumb.
But speaking of good episodes,
yeah.
That was the last continuation story. So the last 3 are going to be original stories. But honestly, speaking of good episodes, the next one on our list was actually a pretty good one too.
Hell yeah.
That would be season 3, episode 7, The Smuggler.
By Studio
Trigger.
Yeah.
Yep, Studio Trigger worked on this one. And before any of you ask, no, this isn't the Trigger that is like Gurren Lagann, Inferno Cop. We're not talking that. We're talking like the more calm Trigger.
Normal, yeah.
Where at the beginning we have a narrator who talks about the history of a planet known as Zenerida, where for many peaceful generations it prospered under the rule of its kings. And after a while, the Galactic Empire became a thing. And the Zenerida royal family was like, oh my god, I mean, are the Imperials bad? Is this empire bad? And which led to the Imperials literally imprisoning the royal family and taking their planet in the name of the empire, except for one.
Prince
Everyone,
Arlu.
all of the royal family is imprisoned except for Prince Arlu, who apparently was able to evade capture.
Mm-hmm.
And thus we start off with our main character, a pink-haired female smuggler known as Cheetah.
Yep, she goes into a bar to try to get some work. She complains to the guy at the bar about her ship being locked for some reason, or she's not able to access her ship. And he says, well, what about that goddamn money you owe me? In which she responds that she's in trouble with the Empire because of that job, so she can't really get him the money that he needs. And as soon as she tries to threaten him, but the dude has a droid bounty hunter with him that like kind of
like a freaking assassin droid or
assassin
something.
Droid.
Just
Very
like
fun to see those. He tells her to get his money for him to give her ship back. And just as she's like leaving, kicking dirt, just complaining, like, what the hell am I supposed to do? I can't get a job. She's approached by an old woman who offers her help and a job for 10,000 credits. It's just transporting
10,000 credits upon delivery, and she's gonna pay the financial trouble that she has.
Yeah, to get her ship back.
But
the cargo is 2
in exchange,
passengers.
2 people she's got to smuggle anywhere outside of Imperial jurisdiction. And of course, Cheetah's like, wait, really? 10,000 credits upon delivery and I get my ship back? Yeah, sign me up.
Hell
okay. Yeah. The lady, also known as Glinu, she's like, all right, let's get we're going to get everything around. You go get to your ship, and we'll work from there. And so, Cheetah, as she's walking by, she contacts her co-pilot.
Gozan.
Gozan. Thank you. And telling him about the job and everything. Yeah. And so it's like, all right, let's go. And as she's walking by, we see a Twi'lek and someone else.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other race was, but they're talking. They see like a hologram of this Prince Arlu, And they're like, talking about, hey, I don't know how
Whoa.
he got
Yeah.
out of here, but
Whoa,
but
$100,000 for the prince. Can you imagine? That's crazy.
yeah, right. They're just like, we get that. But as she's hearing this whole thing, we see a Rhodian, who is the co-pilot, Gozun,
Mm-hmm.
just like looking over, scared shitless. And as Cheetah walks over, she's like, "Hey, what are you?" And and Gozun's just like shushing her
Yeah.
and pointing, as we see the bay where her ship is covered in stormtroopers. And as she's trying to have a hand signal conversation, like, "Hey, let's try to go around," kind of thing, he bails.
Yep, he flees.
Rightfully so, he bails.
Flees into a building and leaves her without a pilot. She then is
And
approached
yep.
by the Glinu and the actual other passenger, and she explains that she has lost their pilot, so she doesn't know how they're going to get off the plane. And she sees that the other passenger
also
is
that
a young
the
man.
stormtroopers.
Yeah, and she was
Yes.
like, you see that the people she's transporting is the Glinu and a young boy. She says that her ship is unlocked, but yeah, she can't get entry because the Empire's blocking the entryway. And goes unfled. The young man offers to fly, saying that he has some amateur piloting skills. And Cheetah says, like, man, it'd be really fucking easy if we had a Jedi with us. But Gleanu's like,
Can't do that
yeah.
because, the Great Purge happened and everything.
Yeah, and then
but the young man
alludes to the fact that she does not think the Jedi are evil, which is a surprise to Cheetah, who's like, yeah, you agree? Yeah, you're right. They aren't evil. The Empire's a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, right.
And this is when the young
but
man
as they're trying,
has a sneaky plan.
Yep, the young man's just like, yeah, let's just enter. Let's go through the maintenance tunnels to get to Hangar Bay 51. And they're like, okay, yeah, sure, let's do this. But as they're walking away, there's a weird like mushroom-shaped probe droid that goes to a masked bounty hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And then we cut to them like walking by, and we hear Imperials outside on the road, on the street, like, "Hey, you, come with me!" And we hear like a woman like attesting to all of this, and of course the young man is like, "Hey, let's take a look at this," and we find out through a guy in the conversation who looks at this case like, "Hey, you shouldn't be here." They're trying to capture everyone who might look like Prince Arlu.
They're arresting all young men in the village.
Yeah. Yep. And you look like you're just about his age, so they might take you too, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And of course, the Imperials, the Stormtroopers, are being Stormtroopers, aka dicks.
Yeah.
And
they are like they're pulling the son, and
the
mother is like, no, it's my son. He's not the prince. He's my son. Leave him alone. As they like shove down the mother and prepare to attack her. And this is when, of course, there's like, we got to get out of here, Cheetah says, and she sees that the young man is gone as he is going in there to protect the mother and the son. And Gleanu also jumps in and helps beat them up. It's a very fucking cool sequence. They save...
beats them all up, and they're both really good at fighting and everything. And even Cheetah's just like, whoa, damn, alright, nice. And after all the stormtroopers get, like, beat the fuck up, everyone starts cheering. And, the boy... The man looks and he's like, "Hey, are you okay?" And the kid who almost got like kidnapped is like, "No, I'm fine, thank you." And the mom's like, "I'm not hurt." And then she looks at the mysterious boy that Cheetah's gonna be smuggling, and it is revealed that this is Prince Arlu.
What?
Whoa! And everyone, and when she asks if that's Prince Arlu, he doesn't hesitate. He says, "Yeah, I am. I'm not gonna lie to you." And everyone bows and is like, "You gotta get out of here." Like, the Imperials, because of all this ruckus, the Imperials are gonna be on your tail. You guys gotta get out of here. And just as if on cue, we see an ATST walk in. And, as it walks in and, like, turns and looks, a guy with like an X-34 land speeder is like, "Hey, you three, come on, use my speeder, get the hell out of here."
Yeah, this has actually helped them escape. Cheetah is like, she's happy but a little bit surprised that he's the actual prince. And as they're like flying on the land speeder, Arlu says that we should double back to get to the ship since we have a speeder now that we can get through that blockade. She's still a little bit hesitant. Just then, the bounty hunter shows up on a speeder as well and begins to fire on them. They chase them up some like around this long ass like mountain cliff looking thing. Very fucking cool chase sequence. they jump off a huge ramp and get into the bay, past all the troopers who are like pretty much dispersed now because of the prince sighting. The hunter readies to trap them, and as they like are cornered, he kills the stormtroopers just so he can get the bounty himself, I guess, or just so he's no witnesses.
Well, yeah, because he kills them both and says, "These are mine. This one's mine," kind of thing. And as he's getting ready to, Gleenu looks at Arlu and Cheetah and is like, "You two stay back.
Yep.
I'll handle this." And as you know, as the blaster, like as the bounty hunter starts blasting at Gleenu. Yeah, he started blasting. We see Gleenu like has a prosthetic arm that undoes and a stick comes out. And when she turns it on, it is a lightsaber. That's right. We have a Jedi here, and she's like making easy work of this bounty hunter. Like, she doesn't even move. She doesn't even like flinch. She doesn't even like blink, and she's blocking every single laser this guy has.
Yeah, he throws a bunch of mines out that explode. She just blocks all the fire too. She's really fucking impressive.
Yeah, she is very impressive, but after this display of she's a Jedi, you know, the bounty hunter is gone. And of course, Cheetah's like, where'd he go? And Gleanu's like, he probably fled, but this is our chance to go in now, kind of thing. Because, you know, there was explosions. Stormtroopers are on the way. Yep, okay, cool. So, you know, Cheetah goes on her starship with the other two. They start leaving the planet. And unfortunately, you know, Cheetah's like, cool, let's get into hyperspace. Arlu's like, nope, can't. She's like, why? Imperial Star Destroyer, literally in front of them. There's a big old Imperial Star Destroyer flying in front of them. And she's like, all right, fine. We can outmaneuver, you know. And they're like, yeah, the bounty hunter probably alerted them, but we can't elude them. Wait, why not? Immediately, as if on cue, a whole bunch of TIE fighters appear.
Yep. They begin firing a whole bunch of missiles in a huge-ass Autono Circus-ass, like, fucking thing of missiles. Very cool flight sequence with her ship.
Yep. And on top of all of this, we see the bounty hunter return and is starting to attack them as well.
Yeah, a very fucking cool shootout happens. They dodge all the missiles and the bounty hunter. And does the bounty hunter get destroyed by the missile, by the Star Destroyer stuff?
Yes, because Cheetah's like, oh, they're shooting, the bounty hunter is like shooting heat-seeking missiles at us. Cool, let's use this to our advantage. And she does like some maneuvering so that all the TIE fighters get hit by the salvo of missiles. And of course the bounty hunter's pissed off at all of this. And then they actually do hit hyperspeed past the Imperial Star Destroyer.
Mm-hmm. And they managed to get him to the rebel base. Very fucking cool. As they we see the prince talking to the other rebels and having landed, and Cheetah's trying to leave.
But Matt,
yeah,
where is the rebel base?
Is it Dantooine, I'm assuming?
No, it's the Great Temple on Yavin 4.
Okay, Yavin 4, yeah. The second
one. It's the Yavin 4 one.
Yavin 4 is the main base, and then Dantooine is the second one. Yeah, I forgot, yeah.
Correct, yeah. No, they actually are on Yavin 4.
Yeah, very cool.
Yep. And so as the prince is talking to other people, you know, Cheetah's just gonna leave. She's just gonna do the smuggler thing and just leave without saying goodbye. And then Gleenu's like, wait, really?
Yeah.
You're just gonna leave without saying goodbye?
Oh, well, that was your reward, she said. Specifically, she was gonna leave without the money.
Yeah. It's like, well, can you at least accept your payment? And, you know, she's like, Cheetah's like, look, no, you guys are going to be doing a war thing. You got to have some funds and everything. And that's when Prince Arlu walks up and is like, hey, thanks for holding her, by the way. Holding her up, by the way.
Oh, wait, no, Cheetah, Gleenu explains her past. That she, after the fall of the Jedi, the only person to give her sanctuary was the king. And that's why she came into his service and decided to protect his family.
Right, yeah, you're correct.
And there's a little backstory on her, which is very fun. And then, Arlu shows up.
That's when the prince comes in, It's like, thanks for holding her up. And Gleanu's like, okay, but you got to be very careful how you request this. And so he literally, kneels.
Yeah, gets on one knee.
I'm like, whoa. I'm like, whoa, sir, you guys are children?
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I know we need a very, very good smuggler to help us to liberate Zenorita, and you're the one you're the one we want. You want to join us? And at the end, we see like Cheetah in her starship with Gleenu and Prince Arlu.
Yeah.
And yeah, she pretty much
They launch
joins
off
them
to join the
and
rebellion. Yeah.
and that's where the episode ends.
Yeah, surprisingly, very fun episode. I was shocked at how much I liked this one.
Yeah, like legit, this was actually a fun one.
Yeah.
Because I mean, with season 1, we had Gorilla Gon Trigger with the twins. We had a very randomly like kind of lame one with the I forget what the episode was called in season
Ben,
1.
that's very important. You mean The Elder?
Thank you.
Well, that's
Yes,
the director
The
of this
Elder.
episode.
Well, yeah, but you could tell because of the animation style.
No.
And how
The director did this episode.
Yeah, the director of The Elder.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's surprising because that episode sucked. But, like, not just the animation style, but because, like, the animation style of The Elder wasn't the real issue, even though it was, like, a little more dull than this.
Well, yeah, well, I was gonna say, but yeah, I'm not saying that the animation style was the thing. I just knew that someone else from Trigger was taking the reins of this one because you can tell that there is a certain style of animation that also has a certain story arc that someone else did for, like, say, points at the twins versus points at the Elder kind of thing. But the person who did the Elder was the one who did the Smuggler, you say?
Yeah. Which I'm surprised because, yeah, the Elder sucked, like, weirdly.
Oh my god, yeah. If you want to see our ranking for season 1, just listen to our special that we did for season 1 because Studio Trigger did 2 episodes in that one, and the one that we're talking about, which was a more calmer Trigger, not the Gurren Lagann Trigger. Mm-hmm. It sucked.
I mean, you can see a little bit of the Trigger choreography in the bike chase and in Gleenu warding off the bounty hunter with like the fun ass, and of course the Atano Circus with the space battle. Like, but those were very, very quick, very short moments, in an otherwise pretty chill, fun little down to Zenorita story that was like really fucking enjoyable. Yeah, it was weird. It's a very good balance compared to The Elder, which was like all boring and then one mid-fight and a bunch of boring characters. And then, the twins, which is a bunch of fucking nonsense.
which is just Studio Trigger as everyone knows them.
Yeah, very weird.
You know, ridiculous everything, overcompensating everything kind of thing. Just, oi, 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 oi.
Yeah, but of course I have to say the highlight of this episode definitely has to be Cheetah's voice actress, who is Emma Myers from Wednesday. She's like the main blonde roommate of Wednesday in that show. She has a...
Wait,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's Emma Myers' voice,
Dang,
Cheetah. And I would say she had a very distinct... I like the reason I really liked it because she reminded me of early 90s anime voice actors. She had a very weird way of talking with like, it sounded like her teeth were like gritted. And she had a very weird cadence that I really liked because it reminded me of old school anime. So that made Cheetah really likable off the bat.
Yeah, and honestly, like with this one, again, you had some side characters that made everything interesting, but even Prince Arlu was actually kind of an interesting character.
Yeah, and
he was absolutely just a pretty boy. But he actually, he kicked Stormtrooper ass. He actually knows how to co-pilot very well, apparently.
Stood up for the little guy and didn't, like, take the screen time away from Gleenu or Cheetah. Because those two are the...
Yeah, right. Yeah. Although, Matt...
Yeah.
Gleenu's a human, right?
I assume, yeah.
Because, forgive me, the one thing that throws me off about Gleenu is the tall head and the fucking bug eyes.
I think she just has I don't think she had really weird... She didn't have normal... She just like had old lady face. I think she just had a very cone-headed haircut. But I don't think she was like any...
Yeah, well, either way, it threw... Like, the first time I watched it, she kind of threw me off. But I do like her character design a lot
Yeah,
more. Like
fun
it's
older
kind of
lady.
grown on me,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
we rarely get to see like reminded me of Jocasta Nu from Star Wars, the old lady librarian who's like has a really fucking cool.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Right. She did. I see. For some reason I thought she might have been the fucking librarian
that
at
character.
one point, but I'm like,
yeah,
no.
yeah, no. Deep cut Star Wars reference. There is a single comic in the Vader series, which has been running since Disney took over. A very actually surprisingly very well received comic series, but he does re-encounter Jocasta. And they have like a very fucking cool scene, just like talking to each other about everything that happened, and like before Vader, obviously, I think inevitably does kill her, but like her standing up to
Right.
him going over the backstory, it's really fucking cool. Seek out the panels for that sequence where Vader does encounter Jocasta. It's very fucking cool.
Yeah, that actually does sound interesting.
Yeah, fantastic.
But yeah, just and again, yeah, sure, we had like that one scene where we saw a Jedi doing Jedi things. But it wasn't the focus, actually. It was like a sidebar thing.
Yeah.
We actually got the focus on, like, non-force using and stuff like that. And I love it when Star Wars does that, when it doesn't focus on, like, force users and stuff like that.
I think it's interesting, but I always love a good Force user sequence myself.
Oh, of course. Oh, of course. Absolutely. But, again, I do like it when, you give, like, a regular person or a regular droid, like the screen time and everything like that.
I like when they can do it very interestingly. Because, like, as we saw with the back 4 of the first part.
Yeah, trust me, we'll get to that when we get to that. But, in the meantime, though, just the Smuggler, again, very good episode.
Yeah.
We got 2 in a row. Can we do 3 in a row?
This streak has got to continue.
Spoilers, it does not. I'm gonna rip the Band-Aid off. Those were the 2 good ones, and now the last 2 episodes
are certainly gonna happen.
Oh boy, they certainly are. So let's not waste any time with episode 8.
The Bird of Paradise?
By Polygon Pictures.
Yeah, I guess.
Before we get into the episode, Matt.
Yeah.
Who is Polygon Pictures?
They are a 3D animation studio that does a number of. They do like do you see the Netflix Godzilla show?
No.
It's like 3 long OVAs. Actually, it's not really a show. It's like 3 long OVAs.
Okay.
Love, Death, and Robots. They did a couple episodes of that. But they also
that one I do know.
They've also done a couple actual work on Pengu, that like Japanese claymation penguin series. But they also do a lot of game animations, actually. They're like a studio that does a lot of game stuff, too. Because they've worked on RE5, Pokemon Sword and Shield, and Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad you knew who they were, because I'm going to be real with you. I didn't know who they were.
Yeah, no, I did research, yeah.
And I'm going to be real with you also.
Yep.
Is it kind of sad that I thought they were a Korean animation studio?
I mean, their style certainly doesn't. Well, I mean, we were talking about the studio before we even get to the episode. But I'll say that the style, didn't seem very Japanese to me. They might be at it somewhere else. I didn't really look at that, but possibly.
No, they are stationed in Japan.
Okay, yeah, they could have been, but yeah.
Yeah, they are. I looked that up. Well, I do apologize. I know we usually do this afterwards, but I just kind of really needed to know about the studio. Well, anyway, we start off in the mountains over like a pseudo evening sky, where we see our main protagonist, Jedi Padawan Nakime, fighting a Sith by the name of
Amon.
Amon. And we're talking like this girl. Honestly, I don't know what her alien race is in Star Wars. I thought she was just an Oni.
She could have been. If they gave her 2 horns, she could have been a Deveronian, which would have made sense. Then there was those 2 big horns. He almost looked like an anime version of the Deveronians, but yeah. Some weird Oni.
Where Amon is like,
she's like a fucking Harley Quinn,
laughing maniacally,
anime villain, laughing and slinging her. She has like the tattoos of Maul and stuff. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, and she's like doing flips and shit and all that stuff, and she's fighting with Nakame, she's making fun of her. She is provoking Nakame at every turn, and unfortunately, Nakame is actually like
falling for the bait. Yeah, taking the bait.
She is getting rage baited, and she is taking the bait.
Yep.
where we also see that Amon gets pushed to the pushed to the edge by Nakame's Jedi Master, who is surprisingly nameless.
Yeah, the Master tells Nakame, "Don't fall to the dark side. You're just fueling your enemy. Don't get tricked by her." As he takes the lead in the duel and begins to fight Amon and actually has a little bit of an upper hand. During the duel, we see that he does manage to knock her back and throw her off a base, but then that's when Nakame, with her hot-headed self, decides to leap over the droid that they have and goes after Nakame goes after Amon to try to attack her. But of course, the Sith expects this and just double slashes her eyes, I guess, and blinds her.
Yeah,
and
blinds her.
And that's when we get the title card.
Yep, title card. And so this one's very interesting because it's in parts.
Yep.
So we get after the title card, we get Day 1.
Day of insolence.
Nakame wakes up and she finds herself literally blind at the bottom of a pit.
Yeah.
And there's the pit has some glowing purple sand or whatever, but Nakame can't see it. And of course, she's cold.
When she reaches out and looks around, all she sees is her limbs and her body is all that she can really sense or see.
Right, yeah, and she's afraid that maybe the Sith Amon is gonna come down and kill her, and so she's frantically searching for her lightsaber
and shouting
which
for
she
her master.
Finds. Yeah, but it's broken, and of course she's pissed off about this.
Yeah, she's very upset.
And
she's
she's
walking around.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say an avalanche begins as she's walking around calling for her master, and she just completely breaks down and starts crying about what she's gonna do and how she's gonna survive, and she doesn't know where she is. And she's also worried about the Sith before she searches for the saber. Yeah, she picks it up and did you say it was broken?
Yeah, she's pissed off.
Yeah,
about
tosses it again, tosses it away in anger. And it hits a statue. And she begins to pray to it for her master's safety and for her master to rescue her. She says that she wants to live. And she begins to sense some weird, glowy green energy as she begins to pray to the statue and worry about her master. And she begins to follow it further into the forest. And this is when we get Day 2.
Day 2.
Day of Desire.
So she's walking through she's walking through the forest,
it's raining.
It's raining, and she's actually enjoying the rain a little bit. As she's blinded by this, and as she's enjoying the drizzling of the raindrops,
and she's also getting a little bit of the Daredevil sequence from the original movie. With the water drops are kind of highlighting a little bit of the forest around her with the sound and everything like that.
Right, yeah, where it's doing a drip and it's actually revealing a little bit. So it's a neat sequence.
Yeah.
But she stumbles upon a body of water.
Yeah.
Where she takes a drink of the water. Yeah, but where she's like, oh my goodness, finally some water. She takes a drink of it, but it's bitter. It's absolutely bitter.
I assume that it's just a dirty ass bog in the middle of the water.
It probably was. Let's be honest.
I suppose she gets actually sick from it for a while.
Well, yeah, and during her being disgusted by this water, she feels like she's gonna die, that her life's gonna end.
Yeah, the lights
so
that she's been sensing begins to fade, and she thinks that she's dying. Yeah, and this is when we get our first vision. It takes the shape of the master's and her droid, Daruma. But she can't understand his beeps and boops. I guess they never taught her binary or whatever that language is called.
They didn't teach her droid.
Yeah.
They didn't teach her droid. So as that's happening, she calls out to her master, who is you should trust in the Force, that it binds all living things, the basic,
but she's
the Force
too
binds
pissed.
everything.
Yeah, she's too pissed.
Yeah, she's too angry to, And the vision goes away, and of course, she's like, I wish my master would have taught me what to do in a situation like this. And then we cut to
Day 5.
Day 3.
Or 3, my bad. Jumping ahead.
Wow.
I'm ready for
Jumping ahead, apparently. Day 3.
Yeah, ready for this to be over
Day
already.
3.
No. Day 3, indignation.
Indignation. So she is exhausted.
Guess what? She's still walking
she's
blindly
walking
through the forest.
Yep, still blind, walking through the forest, and it's still been raining this entire time, and her clothes are like very sodden, wet, and everything. She clutches to an old tree. As she's clutching to an old tree, she actually finds inspiration to keep moving on.
She talks to the tree about her situation and just what's going on. But she also is still sick from the bog water.
Yep. And while she's moving on, navigating through the forest, she despairs about dying in the wilderness. And
she also hears some lightsaber fighting noises, which makes her continue to go forward.
Right. And while she's rummaging through like several leaves, like frustrated at this point, again, that's a theme
breaking down once again. Yep. Breaking down. Again.
She encounters a darkness manifesting in the form of like a large serpent-shaped cloud, like
it's like a giant worm.
Yeah, something like that. And she in this vision, she encounters her corpse, and she panics because again, she was worried about either being dead or she's dying, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, she awakes in a cave surrounded by pink fire. In the vision, and then she sees what she thinks is her dead master, goes to it and sees that it's her own dead body. Yeah.
Yep.
And she asks, "Oh my God, am I dead?" Yeah, she thinks that she's dead now.
Yeah. Am I dead?
Am I a ghost?
Is there something like playing a trick on me or something? And then we cut to day 4.
Yep. Day of idleness. She is starving now.
Well, she's resting on a rock. Yep.
And doesn't
starving
want to go on.
Because she doesn't want to go on. She's like trying to cling on to hope, but I mean, again, she had a really bad experience with water. She's just trying to hold on for dear life, and apparently, as she's clinging on to hope, her hope manifests in the form of like several feathers.
Yeah, the vision. Another vision is a bunch of feathers floating around her, and she begins thinking about joining the master. Only a few months ago, she's only been in training. Sounds like. And then in her vision, she sees the Sith Amon tempting her to the dark side. As she continues, Nakime remembers the lessons that her Jedi Master taught her about, not giving into the dark side and thinking about the Force. And she, again, awakens and knows that this is all that she just saw and all that she just experienced was in her head. And then we get to...
And thus we get to...
Day 5.
Day 5. A
prayer
for life. We see on this day,
she's sitting in a waterfall.
She approaches a waterfall, and as she's as she asks for help, to try to find a way, she encounters a frog.
Yep, a little frog guy
who compliments her. Yeah, he's just like, "Hey, you're doing well, to find her. You're doing a good job with that."
Yeah, gives her advice on the path of knowledge and the Force.
Yep. And as she, she's like, "Oh wow, maybe I almost was like losing sight of my journey, kind of thing." And the toad's just like, "Yeah, your heart's blinded, and arrogance is hobbling you. So trust in the Force. Trust in the Force."
Yeah, she tries to meditate. She's like, "Am I meditating now?" And he just like hits her. He's like, "No, you need to keep going until you see you are one with the flow." So she goes back under the waterfall and begins to freeze because it's so cold and she hasn't eaten for who knows how long. At least 5 days. She has visions of a giant, looks like one of those, whatever the Chinese version of the phoenix is, or like a peacock or something.
Yep.
Flying in front of her as she's like meditating under the thing. So she gives in. She's like completely tired and exhausted. She sees a saber on the ground, a red saber, and she grabs it. And then she sees a Sith version of herself tricking her and begins to taunt her as Amon did. is trying to get her to join the dark side, telling her, "You're evil, be evil. Your master was wrong. Join the dark side. Give into the despair. Live. You must live." They fight for a pretty long time until she figures out, obviously, that this is her darkness, and this is her impulsiveness and her immaturity, is what this Sith represents of her. And she finally gives herself and gets over her, her maturity, her selfishness, and her brashness, and, just begins to look into herself and gains her resolve. And
as that happens, this dark Nakame decide, hey, why don't you strike me down? And of course Nakame is like, no, I'm not going to do this. So the dark version of her literally stabs her with the lightsaber, and is like, wait a minute, why didn't you block? Why didn't you just try to protect yourself? And that's, with the realization, Nakame is just like, well, I had been ignoring a lot of my master's teachings, but you were never my enemy. You're me, kind of thing.
She says that she is ready to die, and if she does die, she will be one with the Force, so that's perfectly fine. And then the Sith side of her gives, breaks down crying, saying, no, I want to live, I must live. And then she just, gives him, you must admit that you're afraid. He's like, yeah, I am afraid. And then they hug it out, and the Sith version of her dissipates. And as it dissipates, we see her looking into the sky and seeing that she is one with the galaxy. Finally, ready to accept her fate. She awakes by the river, and she continues on her journey in the forest, returning to the statue, saying that she is glad to now be one with the Force. She walks to a mountain peak and overlooks it, still blind, but she gets a smile of contentment on her face, ready to face, I guess, the rest of her journey or the world that she's now in, blind. And that is where the episode ends.
So
I want to say one thing, Ben.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of, bad movie podcasts and stuff like that. One of the ones I listened to specifically, that was the inspiration for the name of this podcast, a podcast called Action Boys. Whenever they're watching something that's particularly dull or really dragging on or nonsensical, they sometimes say pitch oh, well, what if this happens? And then oh, what if that happens? And they called it your brain is releasing life-saving creativity to try to keep it stimulated as to what you're watching, what's happening in it. And I will say, this episode isn't at the bottom of my list, but my brain was going crazy with all types of possibilities as to where this could go. And I was somehow still disappointed by the end of the episode.
I'm gonna be honest with you. First watch through.
Yeah.
I had no fucking clue what was going on. Second watch through, slightly better. I actually started understanding a little bit, but I still couldn't get myself to actually like this episode.
Yeah, no, I got the point, but I'll say my brain first half when she was really falling to the dark side, I was like, oh wow, is this going to be the one where she does fall to the dark side? She does give into her impulses and joins Amon when they get reunited. And as it went on, I was like, oh no, she actually going to accept her death, and this is going to end with her dead, but being one with the maybe being a Force ghost, or maybe being one with that'd be an interesting end. And then I was just oh, maybe she'll reunite with her master, or maybe she'll find her master already dead. And then it just kind of fucking ends with no ending, which, yeah, open endings can be interesting, but I was just my brain was literally what if this happens? What if that happens? What if that happens? That'd be interesting. The animation style was interesting enough. I liked Amon's design and her personality. And the fucking navel gazing about the fucking Force for fucking 20 minutes while she continues to what I assume is walk in a fucking circle in this goddamn forest. I really did not like this episode. It was a lot. It was a choice. But boy,
it was a choice.
Yeah, I was this fucking this woman needs to either fall to the dark side or die in a bittersweet ending, because this is nothing. And then guess what? My reward was nothing. So I was all right, great.
Yeah, just wow, man, there was things happened, and
Did they?
it was trying to be good.
Did things happen?
It tried. It tried. It certainly tried.
Did
and
it
I'm
try?
not like you said. Hey, I will say, just like you, it's not in the bottom of my list. But at the same time,
I think
it's down there.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go into it more when we actually get to the rankings, but I think that this was a real, like, culmination of all the bad episodes from the first half. That nice little, like, sprig of flavor and fun in the last two episodes, and then back to this shit. I was just like, my brain was so done and, like, ready for anything to happen, and then when nothing happened, I was just like, oh boy. That was certainly an episode.
Matt.
Yeah.
Matt. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat this, alright?
Yeah.
You say that was certainly an episode. That was a culmination of all the bad episodes, the first, like, that we watched beforehand, right?
Yeah.
Dear listeners, dear viewers, dear whatever, I'm going to tell you this right now. Just for the final episode, the season finale of season 3 of Star Wars Visions. Just fucking turn off your brains at this point.
Yeah.
Because this last episode, well, you know what? I'm not even gonna give it an introduction, all right? We're just gonna go straight into it, Matt. We're gonna just go straight fucking into it with the season finale of Star Wars Visions Season 3, Episode 9. Black.
It's all caps, Ben. You gotta shout it.
Oh. Well, I did. I just didn't want to,
Oh yeah, and my
peek my mic.
My mic is a big old peak on it, like a big old block. Just you can see the ends on either end.
So, we start off in the space battle. During the.
I was gonna say. Okay, I'm gonna level with you, Ben. Before we even get into this fucking thing. Also, I didn't even write down the studio that did it. Who the fuck did this?
Oh, this is Studio David Production.
Okay, my total notes for this, it's like I have like a fourth the amount of notes, and then I went to Wikipedia to see what the fuck I had just watched, and I was like, oh, that's what the fuck that was supposed to be, because I have just like visual fucking cues on this shit, and I'm curious if you like did the looked up the actual description, because I did too, and I was like, what the hell?
Okay, but now.
Because my thing is just feelings and reactions and descriptions of visuals. There's like I have like no plot structure in my notes whatsoever, and like I said, I only have like maybe like 10 or 15 bullet points in my thing for this section.
So it starts off in a ship fight, right?
No, it starts off on black sketchy lines and veins. It's black and white lines, and then it goes into red pulsing veins. T-fighters,
okay, hold on.
TIE fighters, X-Wings, flying around, Death Star, flashy jazz music, shifts to an old man stormtrooper fighting. He loses an arm, I guess. We see, now he's on the grass. He's seemingly escaped. He's talking backwards. An idyllic field. Beard stormtrooper lying on field, saved by a woman. Back on the Death Star, explosion. We see flying, swinging his arm around. We see speeder bikes on the surface of the Death Star or in a forest. I can't tell. Some vocals kicked in on the music on the freeform jazz. Let's see. Ooh, he leaped off the bike. Now he's running. Is it a corridor or is it the forest? I can't tell. Some more shootouts. Ship crash, I guess. He and another guy are fighting now. They're riding space horses that look like normal horses. They're back on the Death Star. It's exploding. It explodes into a black hole. We see Star Destroyers are caught in the blast of the Death Star explosion. The music fades slightly lower now. Troops are standing on a planet. It's two bearded white guys with brown beards. They're kind of standing near each other. Is this planet Hoth? Because neither Death Star blew up near Hoth, but they're on an ice planet. They begin to fight. He reaches for... he's being chased by a Black Claw. The one-armed trooper begins to fire on the other one. Is this his dark side? Are they supposed to be the same guy? I don't know. X-Wings flying around. Hoth has a snowquake. I guess the equivalent of an earthquake, and the ground breaks. They both fall in the ground. They get up. The one guy's in green, one guy's in red. Then we see a close-up on Beard Guy's face. The end.
Okay, so... viewers, listeners... This is usually the part where I counter Matt, telling him, no, this happened kind of thing, right? Unfortunately, that was actually an accurate representation of what the fuck this episode was.
Yes. Now, do you have
talking, as he's
yeah,
hold on,
you go, your turn.
As Matt was talking, I had the episode on as he was talking, doing little skips every now and then, maybe seeing if there was a detail he missed or something. And guess what? No, he didn't miss a single beat. He legitimately, everything I saw, that is exactly what he described. This fucking episode. Oh my fucking god. Now, you were saying?
No, I mean, do you have an actual description of what the fuck that was supposed to be?
Okay, and by the way, most of this is going to be straight from Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you want to know something? I'm going to do something I rarely ever do, okay, Matt?
Yeah.
I'm going to read, word for word, this plot summary, alright?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, before that, I'm going to give the official description of the episode, okay?
Yeah.
So, the official description of this episode is: a psychedelic battle between past and present, light and dark, and life and death plays out in the haunted psyche of an Imperial trooper who is on the cusp of defeat. That's the actual description of this episode.
Ugh.
So imagine, if you will, that's the description, right? And then everything Matt just described is exactly that's it. So now, I'm going to read this plot summary for you, okay? And Matt, by all means, stop me and make some comments, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The episode opens with bursts of lights leading to a space battle. A space battle rages around the second Death Star. A Rebel Alliance X-Wing fighter races down a trench that leads to a tunnel that goes into the core of the superweapon. It fires a volley of missiles at the reactor core, causing the second Death Star to explode. The camera then shifts to focus on two stormtroopers with ripped helmets fighting. The red-tinged stormtrooper gains the upper hand over the green-tinged stormtrooper and swings him. As they continue to fighting, rebel troopers battle stormtroopers on a bridge. A stricken Imperial Star Destroyer crashes through the gantry. The camera then shifts to depict stormtroopers advancing under enemy fire over a trench in a battlefield. So, hold on a second.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to glean any of this?
I know, and also, like I mentioned, the two guys who are fighting, they have their masks off, but they look the same. They look the exact fucking same. They both are white guys with long brown beards. If they're gonna have their fucking masks off to make them more personable or whatever lazy idea that is, why the fuck wouldn't you make them look different? Why wouldn't one be a man, one be a woman? Why wouldn't one be white and one be black? Why wouldn't one have a beard and one doesn't have a beard? They both look the fucking same.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
That white and black one is actually very controversial and topical. That's why they didn't do that one.
Yeah, right. If one of us was a fucking death trooper, that would have been cool. No, I mean, literally, it did look fucking identical.
Oh, you meant with their fucking masks on.
No, I meant with their masks off. Their faces are showing. They could have fucking been anything.
Yeah, anyway, I read on.
Yeah.
Okay. The camera then shows a giant shape-shifting claw chasing a green-tinged stormtrooper. The camera then shifts towards a battered red-tinged stormtrooper advancing through the battlefield. We see glimpses of flashbacks. As the green-tinged stormtrooper struggles, the red-tinged stormtrooper is swept up by a storm, which transforms into various images of a bright energy source. People frolicking through the beach, flies buzzing around a dead deer, waterfalls, and a couple enjoying themselves on a green meadow overlooking a pond. Okay, sure, fuck it, why not?
Yeah. What the hell? Who is that? Like, what the hell's happening? So stupid.
The green tinged stormtrooper, who is missing his right arm, struggles to his feet. He finds himself in a graveyard, which gives way to footage of stormtroopers being blown up. The green tinged stormtrooper finds himself flying a TIE fighter through space that is pursued by another TIE fighter. They fly around a Star Destroyer before the two TIEs dive into the trench of the Death Star. They pursue and engage fire with an X-Wing. The camera then shifts to stormtroopers charging and falling in battle. The camera then switches to several X-Wings flying over the second Death Star as a Star Destroyer plows into the superweapon. In muddled animation, the red-tinged stormtrooper flies a speeder bike over the trench of the Death Star. The green-tinged stormtrooper pursues him on a speeder bike. They smash through pipelines, jockeying for position. The red-tinged stormtrooper gets consumed by an explosion and collides with the green-tinged stormtrooper. The two men plunge down a shaft. By the way, listeners, I don't like reading word for word like my notes. I don't like reading word for word. It sounds like I'm just giving you guys an education. But this is literally the best way you could describe it, because if I gave you my actual notes, I literally I had something similar to what Matt had.
Yeah.
But I thought it was bullshit, so I deleted my notes and just decided to look at the Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's that weird, and it's keep going with whatever the fuck happened to this thing.
Oh boy, here we go. We're almost done. We got 3 more paragraphs, okay?
Oh boy.
Hold on a second. Ugh, I hate coughing. X-Wings plow through the wreckage of the disintegrating second Death Star. A flaming TIE fighter crashes into the flaming superweapon as X-Wings plow through the Death Star. Several stormtroopers plunge down a molten core. The camera shifts to the red stormtrooper descending, with a close-up of his face and eyes. The camera then shifts to several stormtroopers racing on horses through a battlefield. The red and green tinged stormtroopers continue grappling while riding their horses. The vision gives way to clouds forming in the shape of an eye. 2 more, guys. We're almost done. This is followed by footage of a disintegrating Death Star. A second wave of explosion destroys 2 Star Destroyers caught in the path of the Death Star. A third explosion scatters debris everywhere. The green and red tinged stormtroopers rise to their feet among the debris. Both stormtroopers have damaged armor with bruised faces. Amidst hallucinations, the 2 stormtroopers reach out and help each other. The green stormtrooper's hand descends into claws. Last one, guys! This is the last one!
Yeah. Ugh.
This gives way to a vision of an avalanche sweeping through several stormtroopers. A surviving stormtrooper drudges through the snow while another bruised stormtrooper struggles to rise to the ground. Rebel and Imperial X-Wing wings dogfight above. As the camera zooms out of the planet into space, the camera rests on the bruised face of one of the 2 stormtroopers before fading to black.
So,
word for fucking word.
Yeah.
The Wikipedia description.
That's what this deserves.
I never want to do that again.
That's what this episode deserved. So, how are you feeling about this one?
Okay, oh, Matt.
Yeah.
So you probably remember this conversation we had. I got done watching this episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I told you we should cover season 3
Yeah.
because, and I directly quote, "What the hell was that last episode?"
Yeah, I wanted to ask you. I guess we're at the end of the season now, or into the little special thing. Why were you in such a rush for us to fucking watch this season? Because as compared to season 2, I don't know what made you want to do this so much.
I want to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be dead honest with you.
Please.
I just wanted to catch up on it.
I guess.
I didn't want us to fall behind.
I guess.
And again, and honestly, just I wanted to like legitimately. I just wanted to catch up on this, and I didn't want us to fall behind because if season 4 happens, I want to be ready for it.
If season 4 happens, please God, let it fucking be the international ultimate fucking thing again, because I can't deal with this shit.
And I'm gonna be real with you. International, yes, but let's not do continuations of stories. I want to see like 9 episodes of brand new stories.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Kind of like what season 2 was. But yes, oh wow.
Yeah, was. Yeah, honestly, how do you feel about surrealism in general, in terms of like storytelling or like the medium or whatever the fuck about it? How do you feel about it?
So, surrealism and I have a love-hate relationship with each other because sometimes it can be done well. Sometimes it can be so bizarre that it actually is fascinating. Other times it can just be, just this was supposed to be like art, but it's actually pretty garbage. And then you have shit like this episode where it's so bizarre and batshit crazy, you don't even get time to process what the hell is going on.
Yeah. And like, also,
go ahead.
Yeah? Go ahead. You go ahead.
I'm going to be real with you. There's only 2 things I liked about this episode. The art style was interesting. It was unique. And I thought that was pretty damn cool. And even though it did not fit anything about the episode, I really liked the music.
I was gonna say, after the surrealism thing, how do you feel about freeform jazz with no beats or just like weird stuff?
I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
I'll still listen to it.
I do not like freeform jazz, and in terms of surrealism, I will say that I am not a fan of that either. So like both the storytelling, but I don't like it because I'm a very narrative driven person. Like, if something's going to keep me engaged, it needs to have at least some level of an interesting narrative. So this was a bunch of nonsense narratively, and then it was a bunch of nonsense audibly. So I just was having one of the worst times ever. Now, I will also say that this is not at the bottom of my list either. But that just shows how much I hate the other episodes. but no, I don't like surrealism. I don't like freeform jazz. There was nothing about this that I liked, but that still puts it above a number of other episodes on this list. So we'll get there when we get there.
I'm gonna be real with you, Matt.
Yeah.
And to like do a little bit of behind the scenes, just a minor behind the scenes with the listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Before we actually started recording this episode, Matt and I both agreed on something with this season. This is like mainly a top 3. 4 through 9 are just whatever the fuck ever, because there were that many bad episodes in this season.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, Matt.
Yeah.
We just did finish another series, another special.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's start off with the weird one. I chose this one specifically.
Oh, this is our awards for the season?
Oh, yeah. We're just going to go straight into the... Huh?
You gonna do that before ranking?
Yeah, I'm gonna do all the awards first, and then and then the rank, and then the ultimate ranking afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So, and obviously, just like with the last ones, the awards are gonna be a best and worst kind of thing. So, we're gonna start off with soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, let's start off with the worst one. You said you had words to say. So, what do you think was the worst soundtrack?
I've already made my feelings clear, but I'm sorry. I know you like the steez of it, and I myself am or was a trombone player, probably fucking almost 20 years ago. But I will say that Black has got to be my least favorite soundtrack because it was just one long, 13-minute long freeform jazz session, which I'd rather fucking leap out of a window than have to sit through. I don't like I said, I don't like freeform jazz. If anything, jazz with like a steady beat or whatever is fine, but like freeform jazz for 13 fucking minutes, some weird backwards talk shit sprinkled in there. It was I did not like that, and I never want to hear it again. I know I like my music to be like fucking a fun beat, which is I'll answer my second one, my second choice. I'll talk about it in a bit. But yeah, no, worst music. I did not care for Black's music in the slightest.
Okay. Well, congratulations. We have differing opinions
Mm-hmm.
because, like, the one I didn't like, I'm gonna be real with you. Um, I the Song of Wings kind of had like a very lackluster one to my opinion, in my opinion, and even the music from the main character's like homeworld kind of thing. I've already made it clear. I'm just like, I was okay with it with things until she started playing that and saying it was from her home. It just didn't really mesh well with me, man. Like,
Mm.
it was very lackluster in my opinion.
Mm. So you may say my
But
first or
now,
your first?
but now we're doing the best one, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you started with worst, so I'll start with best on this one, all right?
Yeah.
I liked Black. Honestly, I liked. Okay, I'm fucking weird with my music, but there were some parts that made me raise an eyebrow and be like, "Whoa, what?" kind of thing, like the fucking backwards talking and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But the jazz kind of made up for it, man. Like I could actually like vibe to that shit, you know?
Yeah. 13-minute jam,
Yeah,
freeform jazz session. I get it. Some people love that. I'm not. Well, I'm like that SpongeBob episode. I'm not an adult. I don't like
Yeah.
it.
And that's fine with me. But now, Matt, what is your favorite?
Well, listeners, I have to preface this by saying this was not planned. We did not coordinate this. We are first finding out about our things for the first time.
Oh my god, it's Song of Four Wings, isn't it?
Song of Four Wings.
Son of a bitch! We fucking did it again!
I love some weird techno. It reminded me of that fucking SpongeBob episode again where it was that boop beep boop beep boop beep 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 boop beep boop beep. It was so weird that it's the only time besides Black during all 9 of these episodes that I even mentioned the soundtrack standing out to me. I loved her weird, because remember, my favorite from the international episodes from last season was all the ones that had like a bunch of really hyper-specific, esoteric South American instruments in it. I didn't look up the actual, I remember it was a significant thing to the plot, her listening to her tape recorder of her weird techno music. And like I said, I referred to it only as weird. I didn't say, I don't remember if I said I liked it or not back then, but that's the only time the music stood out to me besides Black. And like, yeah, I fucking loved that fucking weird odd instrument techno music she was listening to on her weird little tape recorder. Yeah, I love the Song of Four Wings music.
I will say that I will say this for Song of Four Wings, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Like, I legitimately understand why people would like it.
Mm-hmm.
I myself, just like you with Black and the freeform jazz stuff, I personally, it's not for me kind of thing.
Mm.
Like, I do like some techno-y kind of music and stuff like that, but I don't know, something about that one just didn't mesh well. Again, the word for that one for me isn't that it's horrible, it's bad, it's garbage. It's lackluster.
Mm.
But, so Matt, next set of awards, all right?
Yeah.
And I'll have you start off with best narrative.
Okay. I will say the best narrative is probably going to be the duel payback. It was a little bit of a retread, or it's set up as like a retread of the first part of the duel with him like seeking out that Sith and like the troopers. But then this one was him still on that journey, but encountering what this universe's equivalent of the Jedi are, which is a bunch of fucking crusaders, and the guy's like so crazy, noble dark, like fucking weird, like, we must purify them and get rid of them in the galaxy, and like he's teams up with the Sith he came to kill for her sabers, and they like actually team up and fight the actual, like, in other narratives, good guy. I really, really enjoyed that setup, and that's like, look at the universe is very, very cool. So I really enjoyed that, the narrative of the duel.
I'm going to be real with you, Matt.
Yeah.
First and second place narratives are by, like, a fraction, like a hair, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was really close for me. But I gotta say, honestly, the most flesh-out narrative, in my opinion, is the duel payback.
Yeah.
I agree with you wholeheartedly on this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love like the one that was neck and neck with it was the Lost Ones. Then again, that also plays to bias for me because I did like the Village Bride, and I do like the characters in the Lost Ones. Especially F. F is like, I don't know what it is. Like, it's hard to describe, but F is one of my favorite like protagonists / Jedis I've seen.
Yeah, she's very cool.
But
I agree. She's very.
But the duel payback, not only for it being like a follow up to the duel, but they really did flesh it out. Actually, if I remember correctly, the duel was so popular when it first came out that it got like its actual like a manga series, or at least a manga.
Yeah, I got a comic adaptation.
Or like a story of it.
Yeah,
it actually got an adaptation to it. And honestly, this was a good follow up. You could literally watch the duel and the duel payback back to back, and it would make sense, and it flows perfectly, kind of thing.
Yeah, very cool.
And like you said, like the concept of like Jedi Crusaders and all that stuff, kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But now for me, I feel like we're just going to be shitting on a certain episode because the narrative of Black was absolutely atrocious. My award for worst narrative has to go to Black. What the hell, dude? It was an acid trip. And I don't do drugs. By the way, winners don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, but it felt like a fucking acid trip. If I were to ever have, I don't know what the hell it's about. I don't know. I literally sat here and read word for word the Wikipedia entry for this episode. That's how bad this episode was. I had notes for it, and I threw them the fuck away.
Yeah, no. I will say that for my worst, it's not Black. Because, like I said, I didn't even consider that a narrative. Honestly. I will say that the worst one for me was the Bird of Paradise. Which, again, I forgot to ask, what the fuck does that name have to do with any fucking thing? It was a fucking 2-minute premise stretched out for fucking 20 minutes or whatever the hell long that shit was. It was nothing but her wandering in the thing, having visions repeatedly, kind of learning a lesson, I guess, but nothing narratively happening. You can literally just say, like I summarized the episode in 2 seconds. A Padawan gets blinded and then wanders in the forest having visions. And that's it. That's it. That's all that fucking happens. Like I said, my mind was like, maybe this interesting thing will happen. Maybe this interesting thing will happen. Like, nothing happened. Nothing. It just was her being blind and then saying, okay, I'm fine with being blind now. After 5 days in the fucking forest, starving, I guess. It was so nothing and it sucked, and I hated the story of that, and I really was pissed off, and it sucks. I hate it.
And you want to know something, Matt?
Yeah.
I get it, because I'm going to be real. If Black wasn't an episode on this, that one would have been... That one would have been my worst one. Yeah. But, like, yeah, no, I get it, man. That narrative, it's like it had so much potential, and it just went incredibly lackluster.
Yeah.
So, Matt, time for our next award, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have you start off with Worst Droid.
I mean, this was pretty easy, honestly, because it's one that I didn't even notice existed for half the fucking episode. It's gonna have to be Triangle Droid from Yuko's Treasure. Remember that one? Not the bear. Bear was fine. It was the fucking Triangle Droid I didn't even notice existed. And they're like, oh, this is the girl we're looking for. It's a Triangle Droid. And then they go down to a base. They see a bunch of them for 1 second, and then they just walk past that, not caring about it. It's so fucking weird. It's so bizarre. It's just a fucking random ass thing. It doesn't talk. It doesn't do anything funny. It doesn't stand out. But it was like narratively important, but never really addressed, and it just sucks.
So, yeah, there was one single narrative with that one that was like, oh my god, it's a Triangle Droid. They must be the ones we're looking for, and that was it, right?
Yeah.
Still more narrative than Daruma.
I mean, Daruma didn't even do anything. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, go on.
Yeah. Daruma was there, and then wasn't.
He was a step for Nakima or whatever.
Yeah.
Literally.
Nakime, he was literally like a step for her, and that was it. And then, you get like a wibbly-wobbly vision about your droid for like a brief second. And yeah, Daruma, unfortunately, like, fucking weak link for a droid, man.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'm gonna start off with the award for the best droid, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So, this one was actually a little bit tough for me. Because droids specifically, there were a lot of good ones.
There were a lot of this episode.
And one of them is absolutely biased, because... that one's not going to be listed. But it was a choice between two of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite's got to be R5D56 from the Duel.
Oh,
R5
nice.
Is just
R5, dude. Too.
Maybe, I can't remember, but like R5, like, not only did he literally prove that a gambling hall was cheating, but R5 has done the most. And very versatile, too. And he got chopped to bits and came back alive.
Oh, yeah.
Like, honestly, if there was any droid in this season that I would want to have my back, it would absolutely be R5 from the Duel.
He's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, he's a goat.
Yeah.
But I will say that for me, the one that I chose is going to be Teto from the Ninth Jedi follow-up episode, Child of Hope. The one voiced by dude from Bates Motel and the Good Doctor. Very fucking cool droid. He had a fun little narrative. Fun design. I like the little weird little flaps on him and stuff. Like the little arm flaps so they can, like... He looks like one of those little the mech droids that like fix the cars, the pod racing things that you like hit on the nose and then they turn in like a little
only he's briefcase. Got two eyes instead of one.
Yeah, but he looks like he fold up into like a little briefcase or something like that. And also he sacrificed himself, killed those two bounty hunters and all those people after what's her name to help her escape. So I thought he was a cool dude. He was cool. He fucking spoke English and not binary like all the droids speak. He fucking saved her life. He was cool. I really like Teto.
Hey Matt.
Yeah.
Can I be honest with you?
Yep.
I sincerely thought you were going to go with IVA4 from the Bounty Hunters.
He was close second.
Yeah, but honestly, because IV was my close second, yeah. But honestly, yeah, I can appreciate Teto. Everything you said about him, I can appreciate that.
True.
Well, Matt, we're almost there to the multiple rankings, but first, let's see, hold on a second. Best antagonist.
The best antagonist to me would probably have to go to Jin Sim and his droideka mech from Bounty Hunters. A fun, evil businessman with a bunch of droids at his beck and call who literally enslaved the planet's children to run his evil company. He's not a Force user, but he does have and I love droideka. They're my favorite in like Star Wars Battlefront, the game. I love playing as droideka. Even in the Lego Star Wars, I love playing as them. They're just a really fun design. I love the little like the aesthetic of them is really cool. But also making one into a mech and him being, like I said, an evil slaving businessman is a very cool and interesting villain for Star Wars, especially for like non-Force sensitives to have to go up against. So I really love Jin Sim and the droideka.
Okay, I get that. Like, honestly, I get that. For me personally,
Mm-hmm.
there was one villain that was actually super interesting, and I'm not gonna lie, like, I just thought he was really cool, and his concept was fascinating. And that's, surprisingly enough, the Grand Master from the Duel
Oh
Payback.
yeah.
Literally, the head of the fucking Jedi Crusaders, which, for those of you who haven't watched part one of this, you've gotten this far and you didn't watch part one? What the heck, dudes?
Weirdos.
Um, but, I did mention, if you remember, like, I asked Matt, I legitimately thought that the Jedi Crusaders were an actual, like, bit of lore. But no, they were just for this episode.
Yeah.
And honestly, their concept was kind of interesting. And just the Grand Master himself trying to, like, literally being a Jedi who was literally fighting with the dark side of himself, kind of letting it flow through him. Like, a very interesting Dark Jedi concept, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree.
Note that I said Dark Jedi, not Sith, because that would have been a whole different ballpark.
Yeah, makes sense.
Now, for me, worst antagonist. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. It's Amon from Bird of Paradise.
Yeah. Really?
She literally was.
This your child. You go. Yeah.
She literally was. She literally was there. She poked fun. She fell off a cliff, and then she was just a point of interest for, poking fun at our. I mean, no. You know what, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You're right. It's not her. There is actually one that's worse than her.
Yeah. Who?
And by the way, I'll explain why I'm doing it this way to all of you out there, but gonna be real with you. It has got to be me trying to find his name. I thought I found his name earlier, but Fox Ears.
Oh, really?
Yep. He was extremely just like Fox Ears was just very like curly mustache kind of villain.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. For a children's show, he's definitely there. He's definitely a good children's like TV show villain. But he was a very one-dimensional villain.
Yeah, I'll say
now,
that. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Now, for those of you listening, yes, I did that on purpose, the way I did this. Because I'm going to be real with you, my actual thinking on worst villain was, it was Amon for a moment. But then I legitimately forgot that Yuko's Treasure was an episode for a brief moment.
Yeah.
And I forgot that Fox Ears was actually a villain. I'm like, okay, you know what? Never mind. Yeah, you're right. Fox Ears is worse because he was such a forgettable villain and such a forgettable antagonist.
I will say that.
So yeah,
I considered him for a bit, but I was like, he's voiced by Steve Buscemi, which is fun, and he's a cartoon bad guy in a very cartoon narrative. That one specifically is very like immature and childish and like wacky, crazy, exaggerated animation. So I was like, yeah, whatever. He's fine for that, I guess. He didn't really fight anybody because he's up against two fucking children. You could have picked Darth Bear, what I guess was kind of a stupid gag.
And lost. He fought two children and lost.
Yeah, he's very goofy Saturday morning cartoon idiot. So I didn't really consider him bad. But I'll say that my choice for the actual worst will be Bounty Hunter from The Smuggler. That dude showed up for one scene, got beaten by a Jedi, ran away, and then got blown up. And like he had like very little narrative. They would have been better served if he was an actual threat at any point, or if he didn't exist and it was just the Empire, the nebulous Empire that they were dealing with for that really good story. He was very ancillary. He didn't look particularly interesting compared to the other bounty hunters. Similar, the Unda and Anda from the Lost Ones, or not the Lost Ones, from the Ninth Jedi, had more personality than him just by having two interesting weapons and there being two of them. But he was like a masked guy who like wasn't relevant and just seemed really minor and had like two scenes and that was it. So I think the bounty hunter really sucked.
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah.
Like legit, that's fair. He was there and he was gone.
Yep.
So Matt.
Yeah.
Our final award before we get to our ultimate ranking, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Worst protagonist.
That's gonna have to go to Yuko from Yuko's Treasure. An annoying baby.
Hey, before you go on, Matt,
yeah.
I'm just gonna say this right now. We are both on the same page with this. Please continue.
Yeah, I was gonna say an annoying baby who was annoying. Just like a little weird crybaby who like showed up, looked for Barry, crashed a fucking speeder, and was kind of just dragged around by the other kid, whose name I didn't even write down because I didn't care enough to look up Yuko's story again. The bear was whatever. I forgot what is it, baby I love you or whatever the fuck its name really is.
Billy, baby I love you, Billy.
Yeah, baby, yeah, Billy. Yeah, fucking very very stupid. It was just like he was a very shitty protag. He was very nothing in the story named after him. And, like, yeah, he just completely dragged down that already bad episode by being a nothing character.
Honestly, don't get me wrong. I can understand. Again, from the perspective of this is, like, baby's first sci-fi, like, show.
I mean, that Astro Boy one from the first season was better than this.
Oh, absolutely was. Then again, I'm partial to like Astro Boy and stuff like that. But even in this terms of this is like baby's first sci-fi cartoon, Yuko just was an extremely weak character. Not much character development given to him. Hell, Sola, the other kid, got slightly more character development. But even Billy had some character development. But Yuko just was a crybaby, didn't want to be alone. I mean, obviously trauma of family dying, but just weak. Very weak character.
Yeah, very forgettable.
Now, and like I said, that is also my worst protagonist. And I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
This one for me, best pro tag, is absolutely biased. I'm giving it to F because I absolutely love her concept so much. She's. Some people would argue that she's a bit emotionless, and she's she doesn't really like. Some things just don't like click very well. But for me, it's not that she's emotionless. She's just, she's calm, she's collective. She's apparently, what we learned from the last ones, she's definitely got a whole lot of baggage going on.
Yeah.
And we get to see all of that unfold. All of her, like, what she's been going through, like, kind of thing, in the duel with Zero. Because Zero was her master that she saw literally die in front of her. And all of those emotions get to rush in, all because he is alive and wanting her to join the dark side kind of thing. And she was hesitant. She was struggling because it was her master. She didn't want to kill him, but at the same time, you guys got to see all of that unfold kind of thing. And again, I don't know what it is. Like, I can't really describe what exactly it is about her that I like. But she is... I've always found her to be a fascinating Jedi character. Doesn't necessarily follow like the actual Jedi code, but she follows it close enough to where she is still considered a Jedi kind of thing. And I like her. I like her. I like her design. I like her concept. She's my favorite protagonist.
Yeah, I'll say that I agree. She's pretty great, but she's not my number one pick. My number one pick is actually Cheetah from The Smuggler.
Nice.
Yeah, a surprisingly enjoyable character who's just a chill smuggler. Who a character type which, I mean, like Han Solo, the second lead of the fucking original trilogy, It's an archetype we don't see that often because we do see bounty hunters far more often. We do see Jedi far more often. We do see Sith and all the other protag types or random citizens or rebels, but like the smugglers who are an incredibly integral part of it, and like I said, the basic trio for the entirety of the series is a fun archetype. She's a fun, chill character who's really really helpful, has a lot of utility. Like I said, very fun voice acting with Emma Myers. Just dragged along for the ride, decides to do the right thing in the end. Completely, she's a very likable, cool, fun protag who's starts off on the back foot and just is has a really fun adventure. And I really enjoyed her story, and I really enjoyed her. I loved Cheetah.
Yeah,
she was very fun.
Yeah, no, I get you, man. Like, she was a very fun character, and honestly, I didn't even realize that the voice actress was her. Like, she was that voice actress, but she definitely sounded like she had a fun time with it, and you could tell by the way like the lines were said and everything.
Yeah.
She's a good choice. I agree with you. She's a good choice. But now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, they, thems, anyone else in between, it's time. It's time. It's finally here. It's time for us to rank all 9 of these episodes. God help us all.
Yeah.
So, Matt, number 9, the lowest of the low of this season.
I was saying, how are we doing this? Are we going to go one number each? Or are we going to go with the whole full list, or how are we doing?
We're doing one of we're kind of gonna do like with the awards. We're gonna do like you say your 9, I say my 9, and then we're gonna go from there. We're just doing one at a time.
All right, so I'm going to list all 9 of my least favorites?
No.
Oh, number 9.
No. Number 9. We're going one at a time. We're starting with 9. You're saying yours. I'm saying mine. 8, 7, 6, etc., kind of thing. We're just going one episode at a time.
All right, yeah. Last place.
What's your number 9?
Worst one of the bunch. It honestly changed multiple times while we were going over the episodes, but it is settled on the Bird of Paradise.
Oh, really? Okay.
What a fucking waste of time. Your number 9?
My number 9, surprisingly enough, is Black. Because, again, just like with the narrative, what the hell did I just watch? I don't even know if it... honestly, if it did not exist in Star Wars Visions, nothing would have been missed.
Yeah. I'll say I agree because my number 8 is Black.
Hey, you want to know something hilarious?
Yeah.
My number 8 is actually Bird of Paradise.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it had a story. But, honestly, even Yuko's Treasure had more of a story than Bird of Paradise.
Yeah.
And there was some good coming for it, at least I thought. And like you said, it's like, we thought something was going to happen, and nothing did.
Yeah, hoped something was going to happen, and it was just a big old fucking nothing burger. Speaking of, number 7 is Yuko's Treasure.
Hey, congratulations. We actually agreed on one.
Yeah, what a stupid, silly little piece of shit.
Like I said, well, like we both said pretty much. If you took out everything Star Wars and removed this, you could make this its own, like, children's show. Because, honestly, I will say that Yuko's Treasure is not my worst one, but it is the weakest Star Wars one ever. Like, you could literally remove anything Star Wars from Yuko's Treasure, and nothing would be missed, pretty much.
Yeah, what a weird
kind
piece
of
of
thing.
shit.
Kind of thing.
Not good.
So, 97. So we're at 6 now, right?
Yep. Number 6 is going to be the 9th Jedi Child of Hope, unfortunately. I thought that episode was a very boring. Besides, Teto was fine, but what's her name? The protag was very, eh. It was another girl in her droid episode, one of many. It was like the fucking Unda and Anda bounty hunters were pretty fucking corny and shitty. The fact that she was like outside the ship fixing it, and then they just launched without even checking that she was there, just for her to have a stupid solo adventure, and then finding that dead alien guy who was like, who the fuck was that guy, and what the hell was the point of that? It was a weird, like, if The Ninth Jedi was a series like the first one set up, it could be, with such a fun, cool, interesting narrative and an interesting universe. And then it just immediately goes into what I would 120% say was a filler episode. This was a filler episode of a series that doesn't exist, which is just a fucking crime. So, this is, as after the amazingness, like I said, Ninth Jedi, I'm pretty sure was my number one last time, and this is just a fucking filler episode of like nothingness. But that's why it's only number 6.
Literally turns to our viewers. What the hell is going on, guys? Because son of a bitch, that one is my number 6 as well.
That was something we have,
like
yeah.
I really can't, like you said, honestly, the Ninth Jedi, that one was great. It had such a unique concept, especially with the lightsabers. My favorite version of the lightsabers. Mm-hmm. And this one would have been more like I think I'm just repeating you, but it was pretty fillery. Like, it wasn't a good follow-up to it. No. And the only good thing about this episode was Teto.
Yeah, he was decent. But yeah, very boring episode, a waste of time.
Now my 5th one, my number 5.
Yeah.
Is gonna be Song of Four Wings.
Hey, guess what? Mind meld. Number 5 is Song of Four Wings.
Are we really fucking doing this?
It's very funny.
First time ever.
Yeah.
First time ever.
Very funny.
But like, don't get me wrong, it was a unique concept, you know, like it was a unique concept, you know. We actually got a non-Force user and a like former ex-royalty at that, trying to be cool. But then, Girl and Droid, and we got Gundam Girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say
we got Gundam Girl.
Legit, but when I first plotted out this before we started recording, the Song of Four Wings was like second to last place for me, and it literally moved up the list as we talked about all the episodes, because I was like, what the fuck even happened in that? All I remember was Girl and Droid. And I think there was a little stupid Force-sensitive alien goo ball or something. But what else happened in that?
Hey. The Gagoran child, Tortu. We do not. Yeah, well, actually, Tortu's the droid. My bad. Hold on a second. Woopus. That's what it was. Sorry. Woopus.
Whoop-ass.
We do not fucking disrespect Woopus in this house.
No, I was like, what the hell happened in that episode?
You will take that back, child.
Yeah, but then I remembered I liked the odd and honestly awkward but still liked techno music. And then I remembered, oh yeah, she does become an X-wing fucking starship girl, like a fucking magical girl with a starship outfit, or like one of those anime anthropomorphic versions of like a battleship, where she becomes like an X-wing mech girl. So I'm like, you know what, that was fucking, it was stupid, it was anime as hell, but that was all right. that was all right.
Yeah, and you want to know something?
Yeah.
Never disrespect the Woopus again.
Whoop-ass was pretty all right.
Woopus was adorable, and I want a plushie of him.
But yeah, that spot's at number 5 for the
Number four for me was the Bounty Hunters.
God damn it, Ben.
What the fuck is going on, Matt?
I mean, we just probably have a very similar taste in what we like in our Star Wars, and we felt the same about these goddamn episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Like we said, the top 3 is probably going to be the only part we're actually different from here on. I'm pretty sure, because like.
Well. Except for our 9 and 8, we did have differences. They were just intertwined.
Yeah, they're just switched.
But like, honestly, don't get me wrong. Fucking, what was her name? 7.
I guess.
Yeah, 7. Yeah, 7. 7 and IVA4, they had good chemistry together.
Yeah,
and
interesting setup.
I mean, and IV was an interesting droid, because, you know, a repurposed assassin droid who, you know, literally had a split personality between, oh, I'm a nice guy, and I'm gonna rip your face off.
Yeah.
Was actually kind of fun. They had a fun time doing it. And I'm not gonna lie, seeing the villain with a souped-up droideka that
Yeah,
he could pilot
very fucking
actually
fun.
was kind of baller.
Yeah, and the fact
Not
that they
gonna
went to
lie,
like
was
something serious, like corporate slavery, which is a thing we hear about in Star Wars EU stuff. Like, yeah, a literal corporation using slaves from a planet they're taking over, using a bounty hunter to try to stop the rebels. That's a fun ass, cool concept.
It is, yeah, and I liked it. It was a fun one.
Yeah, pretty decent, very fun. I like the droid, I like the story, and like I said, a droid to come back is always cool to think about. So now, honestly, the top three though, these are like legit good stuff. Now, finally.
Yeah, but and who knows? We might actually be have differing opinions.
Yeah, do you want me to go number three first, or you? I'll go three first. Number
Matt,
three.
what's your third?
This is going to be The Lost Ones.
Okay, yeah, we are definitely differing on this one. So
yeah, I like the concept as a continuation from The Village Bride, which I remember you loved, but I was kind of like a little bit mixed on. And then like actually going into this fun little idea of the cloud of the fucking what's it called, gas destroying everybody. Very cool concept, and then also seeing her master and the duel and everything. Very fun. Just not as good as the other two, in my opinion, but a very fun, very cool episode. That was a nice little follow-up. And yeah, F is an interesting prototype because she's so stoic, which is what the Jedi were taught to be in the Old Republic. Or so like it makes sense that she's like that. And also it's a very unique character because like even if her personality is stoic, it's more of a personality than like half the people below her on this list who have like no personality or are actively annoying. So her being stoic is pretty chill. And also, yeah, the Mark Strong, her Zero, her antagonist was a pretty interesting antagonist as well. Fun setup and interesting and a cool fight. And she beat a superior Force user in a non-conventional way. So that's always very cool.
So, as with the other two seasons, my top three are like by minuscule amounts because like Matt said, all three of these episodes were great. For me, The Smuggler is actually my number three.
Huh.
I love Cheetah. I love Prince Arlu. Heck, even freaking
Gleenu?
I already forgot her name.
Gleenu.
Yeah, thank you. Gleenu was interesting. Like I said, at first her design kind of threw me off, but that it kind of grew on me kind of thing. It was absolutely like just conventional, like, you know, it's just like, hey, you're a smuggler, you know, you do things for the money, but what if you did the right thing? And she did kind of thing. And honestly, the fact that Trigger did it and the same director who did The Elder did this one, definitely a far cry improvement in my opinion. Definitely would want to see this as a series on its own. Like, I could see this going more further. And honestly, there was really, except for the bounty hunter who was kind of weak, but he was like probably a one-off villain kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, there wasn't really anyone I hated in this. So, yeah, it's a really good one. This one was a really good one.
Yeah. I'm curious if our number two is going to match up. My number two is The Duel Payback.
Wow. We did it again, didn't we?
Okay. Yeah, very fun. Like I said, a great follow-up to The Duel, a nice little turn on the head. The narrative of Jedi Crusaders is cool. Seeing the Ronin again is very fucking cool. His droid saves him, the Babu Freak guy. Even the Twi'lek Sith, who he like begrudgingly teams up with to fight him, and her weird setup of all of her crazy fucking, her wrist gauntlet of lightsabers and shit. It's just like a beautiful, that's like probably still the most creative of any of the episodes. Like, it's not my number one still, but it is of both of season 1 and season 3. The Duels episodes have continued to be the most creative and still having a fun, interesting narrative. Like,
yeah. And you want to know something? I agree wholeheartedly. Like, seeing like Star Wars and like a old school
Kurosawa.
Akira Kurosawa style, Kurosawa style, with like it being like just old school, like actual, like, you know, Japanese like samurai type. Well, I mean, he's the Ronin, but
yeah, literally.
style was fascinating. And I'm gonna be real with you. even the Twi'lek Sith's fucking Grievous arm of fucking lightsabers, of mini sabers, didn't actually throw me off. Like, there was a lot of unique concepts. I can see why everyone loves this, loves the duel in any capacity whatsoever.
Yeah.
Definitely another one I could see being its own standalone thing, because they did everything, like, they did a lot of things right in this one. Actually, they did everything right in this one, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
All right, Matt.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
why
yeah,
is...
yeah, the Smuggler #1. Of course, obviously, it's the only one left. I really,
Yep.
really loved it. I love the narrative about Prince Arlu. Prince Arlu was like, as much of he would otherwise be a generic anime protag boy, but he's not the real lead. He's like not even the deuterogamist. He's like the support character for Cheetah. And Glinu is also a fucking cool ass undercover Jedi. Oh my god, there's like a slow fucking ambulance driving by my house while I'm trying to fucking do this.
Yeah, I can hear it,
It's
actually.
taking forever to fucking drive by. There goes a fire truck. Anyway, okay, so yeah, Glinu was a fun secret Jedi, even though you could kind of predict it. It feels like it could 100% fit into the narrative of the actual movies because it does, tie in Yavin 4, like you said. And yeah, Cheetah was fucking fun as hell. Everyone was really cool. I wish it had a more interesting protag, or if it was just the Nebulous Empire with their protags and she just had to get through them. But like, it was the most down to earth.
Antag?
Yeah, Antags. Yeah, sorry, but yeah, a different, more interesting Antag than the Bounty Hunter, or like just put not a Sith, or just put a more interesting person in there. Maybe like a Death Trooper or something like that. I don't know. But like, yeah, it was still by far the most enjoyable, as down to earth, small scale as it was compared to like a lot of other Star Wars shit you can do. I really fucking love this story. I loved everything about it, which is a surprising turn because like I said last time, I really don't like Studio Trigger, so I was surprised I liked the episode so much.
Yeah, and again, like, Trigger actually got a W. Like, they did a very good job with this. But obviously, since there's no other ones, the Lost Ones is me. Like I said, the title of this episode was odd. I'll admit. I admit to that. But honestly, the fact that at first I was like, this is very info dumpy, and I thought the pacing was off. But upon rewatch, this definitely had a very engaging narrative, in my opinion, because yeah, sure, it started off with the weird like carbonite gas planet, and people wanted to fix that, which is cool. But then we actually get to a place where F actually knows people, and they're like, we actually get a little bit of story behind like her and her master, because apparently someone else, Juna, knows this master person.
Yeah.
And again, she's very stoic, as the Old Republic would have taught her. And to see her like kind of battling with herself during the fight with the master who she thought was dead, that build up, finding out that her master was still alive, and that he was actually going to try to convince her to be a dark side user. Just her growing as a person is one of the things I like, because yeah, she's a Jedi, but she's still got a lot to learn, kind of thing. And seeing her actually teaching the younger generation the old Republic ways, or in her pretty much point of view, was very fascinating as well.
Certain point of view.
And just and I mean, then again, I also like that her lightsaber is very Temple Guardian, because it's a yellow lightsaber.
Oh yeah, very cool.
But just everything, and now I need to know what's going to happen with her, because again, she doesn't have any legs or an arm.
Yeah.
So she definitely she took quite a beating. And like you said, Matt, yeah, she's a Jedi, but she didn't use the Force. She didn't best him in lightsaber combat. No, she utilized an unconventional way to defeating her enemy. And I kind of like the ingenuity of that. And just honestly, the Lost Ones, in my opinion, my favorite one, my number one in this series.
Yeah, well, series or this
Well,
season?
in this season, my bad, season.
Yeah. I would say if we had more time, we should have ranked like all 27 episodes or whatever the hell it is. We could have, but no.
Dude, we'll do that. We'll do that in season 4.
Yeah, if it ever comes out, season 4 or whatever other Star Wars project we do in the future. Also, I would say one thing I never pointed out, but like in this batch, just like the first one, there's only one episode where like kind of the bad guys kind of win, which is the dual payback because they're Sith and they beat Jedi Crusaders. But like the fucking every single one of these episodes, all other 8 of them are all the good guys winning. Black, I guess it really doesn't make any fucking sense, but so it doesn't really count. But
well,
like,
we're not gonna consider Black.
Yeah,
we're not.
But like
we're
all
not
the rest of them
that.
are
but
good
yeah.
guy underdogs beating the Empire or the Sith or whatever the hell every single time, which is very boring. I wish we had more like that last one. The Apprentice.
Bird of Paradise was someone actually finding enlightenment, but.
I mean, yeah, a Sith finding a Jedi finding enlightenment in the Force is the most boring thing that could have happened in that thing. Like I said, it would have been better if she died. Yeah, it would have been better, more interesting if she died. Yeah, Yugo's treasure. They beat Foxhead. Ninth Jedi, the Ninth Jedi. Those 2 idiot Unda and Anda die. 4 Wings. She takes out that Star Destroyer, or not Star Destroyer, that Walker. Those 2 or 3 walkers. And yeah, the bounty hunters. They take out the evil corporate man. And yeah, like none of them end up with the bad guys winning, which is very unfortunate.
Right, and and honestly, I think that's another reason why The Lost Ones is my favorite, because she wins. Good guy won, bad guy lost, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at what cost?
Yeah, all 3 out of 4 of her limbs.
Yeah, right. So I kind of want to see where they go with that. But either way, Black we don't count. But yeah, pretty much except for the duel. Yeah, it really was good guy win, bad guy lose kind of concept.
And girl with droid.
So many girl with droid. I will say though, shout outs to an older episode from season 1. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Shout outs to the season finale of season 1.
Oh hell yeah!
Akakiri
is
that
still,
one.
Of the anime episodes, it's probably still. I don't even remember whether that was my favorite or not, but it should still be.
I think I think it was because of the ending where you actually find like the main character is like, oh, I'm on a Force Vision quest kind of thing, and I'm gonna be a Jedi. I'm a good guy, and then he literally turns to the dark side at the very end, kind of thing. That fucking twist, man. That's good storytelling right there. But anyway, Matt.
Yeah.
You'll never guess how many shameless plugs I have.
Yeah, go on. How many?
My shameless plugs are... Hey, Matt, what are your shameless plugs?
Of course, Matthew List Podcast Patreon, Matthew List Podcast YouTube, Matthew List Podcast Blue Sky, Matthew List Podcast Twitch. Go listen to old episodes of Action Toon Bros. There's at least 70 or at least 80 something of them, 80 or more because of the fucking specials. Go listen to all 24 or 5 episodes of Movie Garbage, fucking dope as hell series. Read my book, buy my book, Forgotten Minotaur King. I need more reviews. Speaking of reviews, go over to Spotify and Apple Podcasts, which we are available on, and leave reviews on both of those because that's the only way the algorithm puts them up for people to check out. So yeah, fucking check out my shit. Go look at that stuff. I should be streaming sometime soon. But of course, this isn't going to air for months, so who knows what the schedule's going to look like. And Star Wars Forever.
And Star Wars Forever. But if I remember correctly, after this episode is back to Fillmore.
Yeah, it should be Fillmore, which I think it might be the last episode of Fillmore. I'm not sure.
That's a good question. We'll get there when we get there. But either way, next one should be Fillmore. So, all of us here at Action Toon Brothers, we gotta say, be safe, have fun, and
fuck
may
ice,
the Force
of course.
be with you.
Yeah, may the Force be with you.
And as always, keep it sleazy.